What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Flagrant 2. No easy buckets analysis by assholes. Water cooler commentary for your sports needs. I'm grumpy. I came in fucking grumpy today.
You came in a bad mood today,
I know.
man.
It's because I need some exercise. I have an intramural game today at 7:30. It's the highlight of my week.
Yes, you're very excited about this. This is why we get in at a certain
because
time.
It's the bum league. So I have one league that's competitive and then a bum league where I just get to show off. And I'm ready for the bum league. And
I hope they're not listening to this, by the way.
I hope they are. I really hope they are. But yeah, and it's just so now I might be late to that, and like I'm at the age where like I can't not warm up before I play.
Yeah.
Like I need to dribble the ball for like 10 minutes so I remember how to dribble. I need to get shots. I need to shoot free throws.
I can't go in cold.
Cannot go in cold.
You gotta at least break a sweat. I gotta bend some shit. Bro. Like I can't just remember the days you could just get up and just play like 4 or 5 games.
I used to show up to pick up games. I just call next.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, I got next.
Yeah.
With no preparation, nothing. No, now I need to do drills. There's stretching. There's this whole thing.
It's so bad. I gotta watch the people playing ahead of me.
So you start strategizing?
Like, I strategize. I'm like, okay, I can play with this guy. This guy can shoot. This guy will run the floor, yada, yada. Before I just jump in, I'm just like, yo, I'm going to get mine. And y'all just figure it out.
It don't matter. We need 11 points. I'm going to give you 8.
Dog. I'm like David West now. I just fucking...
Strategy. All
strategy. And I just pick my spots, man.
I forget how to play ball every single time I play.
It's terrible.
We should acknowledge real quick. It's me and Kaz here right now. Akaash is in Los Angeles. He's trying to live his dreams.
Yes, we left him there from last week.
That's right. We didn't even bring him back.
No, we didn't bring him back. He just
also,
stayed back.
Everybody's been so shout out to Akaash. I hope you get an audition for what you want and do whatever. Whatever.
Little dream, bro.
Yeah, I try to be positive, but I'm still so fucking grumpy. I can't even hope my friends achieve their life goals.
Like, you can't even support Akaash.
I've really tried. Did you hear that fake ass attempt? I hope you find your dreams or whatever. Why the fuck aren't you here, you piece of shit?
Stop it. God damn it.
Everybody wants to know what Alex cut from the episode.
Oh God, that's been the hot topic of the week, Alex.
Everybody wants to know what Alex. I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not gonna put you out there.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put you out there because there's been times I've asked you to cut stuff off the podcast, and I don't want to.
It's rare. It's rare that the flagrancy reaches such a hot level that we need to take it out. I just want to clarify. None of us knew he took it out.
No, that's the thing. He didn't warn us or nothing. Like we got a good laugh at it out of the show. We're like, ha ha ha. And I bet you if he left it in, nobody even mentions it.
But
just
now,
a funny moment.
Because you weren't even smooth with it. You just had like a 3-second pause in the audio. There was nothing. Why don't you cut it and connect the audio, dog?
There was.
He wanted his shine.
It was like we were conversing, we were talking about the party we went to, and then it's just dead silence for 3 seconds, and then insane laughter, and then all of a sudden my DMs are blowing up like, yo, what did Alex say? What did Alex say?
I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but Alex was at a TNT party, and he bumped into Jason Collins, and the both of them went into the bathroom, and I don't know what happened after that.
I don't know what happened after that.
Alex might... We can't give him freedom to cut shit from the episode.
Man, I think once a week we should find some shit to get Alex to cut out. Just so if we do it enough times, he'll just fucking bite the bullet and just say fuck it, just let it all go.
You gotta let it ride. You had a perfectly funny thing. That's a prank. You were worried it was too wild, but it was a great prank. He played a prank on this fuck. I'm not gonna say what happened.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
So Akaash got wild with it. All right. So look, grab the microphone if you're gonna talk.
Alex, you gotta get over here.
Push the mic. Push the mic. Yeah. So you can see it. So here's
they gotta hear you, bro.
Here's the thing. Well, careful, don't yank the whole shit out. It was a perfectly good prank. We were leaving. We got kicked out of the VIP at the TNT party because I kept staring at Charles Barkley.
Yeah,
and
that's not weird at all.
No, they knew it. They knew it was up. There's literally a small little VIP section. It's maybe like 30 of us tops, and
it's like corporate.
It's super corporate, and they just walked up to the two of us and then kicked us out. And on the way out, this white woman. Say what?
Because I'm black.
Because you're black. Exactly. He was like, why is there a black guy here that hasn't played in the league? This is weird. Something's off.
Where's your Hall of Fame ring?
Like, you look tiny.
You can't be in here.
What sport do you play, sir? Anyway, so we go, and then there's this white woman was there on the way out. says hi to Alex. They looks like they know each other. Alex says hi back. I turn around. They're talking. And Alex does this thing like super saucy, right? Like didn't just kiss her goodbye, right? He grabs Shorty's chin, he grabbed Shorty's chin like he was her grandpa, son. Like just chuck that chin up right here. Kiss goodbye.
It looked like a 90s teen movie. Like grabbing Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Exaggeration going on.
Keep in mind, this is the weekend Black Panther came out, right? So obviously there's going to be next level confidence with black men, right? So this guy was walking around King of Wakanda.
Mind you, I must tell you, that Black Panther afterglow is real, dog. Like once M'Baku got popping and everyone's like, oh my God, it looks just like you, Kaz. I was like, yo. My DMs were flooded.
That's right.
This week.
That's right. M'Baku was killing it, man. You are winning, bro.
Bro, I'll take all the compliments, bro.
Yo, I seen him on screen. I was like, oh shit.
Kaz got it, and he killed it. He was actually
he was my favorite part of the movie. He was my favorite character.
Him and the daughter. Not the daughter. Him and the sister. Yeah, the princess. Shuri were great. Black Panther was trash.
Yo, I have some thoughts. I don't think it's
the
trash.
movie was great. But the character Black Panther was the worst part of Black Panther. I've said this on every single podcast. I don't want to repeat it.
Nah, you don't have to. But I said the real trash character of the movie was his father, T'Chaka. So T'Chaka was super trash. All right, so first, I'm not going to say spoiler alert because we haven't seen it by this point. Like, fuck you, who cares?
All right, fine. I got one more hot take. I'm going to try. But that's it. This is new. This hasn't been said on anything.
So
Go.
T'Chaka was trash. All right, so boom. So he does the whole ceremony in the beginning, and he's like, I don't know if I'm ready to be king, yada, yada, yada. He talks him up big. He gives him the big boy talk, like, yo, you're a good man, yada, 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 you got this. Not even 36 hours later, he gets tossed off a fucking cliff. He dies. Defending his honor. He was like, yo, this dude from Oakland just came. He said you killed his pops, and I don't know. I guess I got to find him now, all right?
Hand game was trash.
The hand game was terrible. He gets the full hand work, gets tossed off the cliff. He sees his ancestors, and he's like, oh, well, I guess you got to come join us. He's like, nigga, you ain't just see what happened? Like, you're not even going to mention the fact that, like, there was this whole kid in Oakland, and you killed your brother, and you went and did all this shit. And he's like, well, we tried to protect the country. I'm like, man.
So
terrible.
So Marco, we do Wester Bros, and Wester Bros did Black Panther. The last one, Marco was one of the guys on Wester Bros, and he was like, we were talking about how Black Panther's hands were trash, and he's like, bro, you can't be Black Panther if you don't got paws. And it's true, bro. His paws were trash, bro.
Not
Couldn't
for nothing.
fight. He lost 2 fair fights.
Not for nothing.
He lost 2 fair fights.
He won the first. No, the first fight he won
the
via
first
submission.
Submission. Motherfucking Ronda Rousey. Once you had to knuckle up, he getting knocked the fuck out.
You put him in a triangle choke.
Win.
You know what I mean?
Like, win UFC,
they were cuddling. He won by cuddle. How you win by cuddle? That's not some gangster shit. Fuck out of here.
He choked dude out. He got the handwork there. He got the handwork from Bucky in Civil War as well. And he got the handwork.
Because when he can't scratch, he fights like a lady. He got manicure. That's his fucking weapon of choice. Okay, but this is my one little hot take about Black Panther.
His actual superpower is getting his ass kicked so he can use it against you.
Hilarious.
So it's like
hilarious.
He's gonna get the shit out of him just so he can eventually use it.
There's a metaphor for Black America right there.
It definitely is.
Like using the pain and struggle that has been put upon you, the impression, and turning that into music.
The metaphor is not lost.
I just hit some hot shit.
That was hard.
Take that Ta-Nehisi Coates. I got you.
Anyway, it wasn't lost on me, but go ahead.
All right, so here's one hot take, right? So West Virginia is white Wakanda.
I said Norway was white Wakanda.
Now, West Virginia specific.
Right,
think about West
how
Virginia.
Does West Virginia
so West Virginia what is Wakanda, right? It is a small place that is completely dependent on mining a precious mineral, and mining this precious mineral has brought great wealth to this area and great technological advancements. And if you look at West Virginia and superiority in war, right? And if you, first of all, every war in modern history has been won by who had more coal.
Facts.
That's what China's doing right now, stockpiling coal, because they're ready to get busy one more time. So,
they gotta
so if you want to be superior with weaponry, you want to be superior in war, you got to have coal or you got to have vibranium, right? Wakanda has this thing, vibranium. West Virginia had coal. When coal was popping in West Virginia, motherfuckers were millionaires out there. I was just out there shooting a movie. Mansions. Shit. Everybody was paid. Even the cats that would go down into the fucking mine had enough to buy houses and live in this beautiful. West Virginia was low-key beautiful.
Yeah. That's why they call it the Mountaineers, right? Or whatever.
Bang, right there in Morgantown.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
So they were fucking paid. Everybody was living lovely. It was absolutely brilliant. Then it found out that it was bad for the environment. Right? And then we were like, yo, you can't do it anymore. So I just want to know, are we willing to keep that same energy when we find out vibranium
but you know that's
is
gonna
bad
happen.
For the environment, B?
You know that's going to happen,
I'm
dude.
just saying, are we willing to say, shut down the mines, get a new job, Wakandans? That's what we tell West Virginians, right? Oh, you done this your whole life? Too bad, buddy. You can't be rich and wealthy anymore. You got to be poor. Learn how to do something with graphic design, bro.
I guarantee you in Infinity War 2, there's going to be like hipster protesters around Wakanda. Like,
leave our Earth alone.
Vibranium kills, man. Like, son, go green or whatever the fuck. They're like, go fuck yourself, bro.
Listen, phenomenal movie, but how can you not, if you're African, how can you not hate Wakandans?
No, I absolutely did.
Like, you got the cure to spinal surgery. Just with a little piece of vibranium, you could cure spinal surgery. You can't give them a water filter?
That was my...
You got motherfuckers drinking doo-doo water all over Africa. You can't throw a little vibranium water filter in that shit? Help your peoples out?
That's why I fucked with M'Baku, because that was the first thing he said when he came out. I was like, yo, y'all all over here eating good. Y'all chilling, man. Like, we up here with the gorillas in the mountains and shit. Like... What the fuck? Like, Africa is suffering, dude. Like, and at the end of the movie, after all that shit, they finally go back and they're like, hey, we're going to share this very precious technology and metal with the entire world, right? Like, what could possibly fucking go wrong? Right? So, like, you haven't been paying attention for the past 3 movies when you were out here fighting Civil War, and they're talking about, oh, there's this guy coming. This guy's coming. He's got these stones, and he's coming. What the fuck could go wrong? Yo, I guarantee you. That's why I'm so happy that this movie did well, because it's like, yo, that Infinity War, when it finally happens, Wakanda is gonna be fucking flattened. Fucking flattened, dog. It's a wrap? And deservedly so. You had a utopia of blackness.
That's some karma.
You had, bro, it's like, you had one job, black people. You had a utopia of blackness, right?
Yeah.
All you had to do, here's the thing. When Americans get something cool, right? They help Americans first, right?
Yeah.
Like, it takes a while for shit to get exported. Japan, all that shit. They get all the fly PlayStations first. Like, nah, we're going to keep these PlayStations for a little bit before we start, exporting this shit, right? Wakandas didn't even help Africans first. They went straight to the UN. Like, here, everybody have some. Fuck it. Like, you couldn't even just help, like, Uganda. You're right next door. Like, these motherfuckers getting their arms chopped off for diamonds. You can't even just go just next door. Just right here.
They're getting their arms chopped off for a shittier mineral.
For a shittier mineral.
You can't even do anything with it.
Come on, B. Y'all deserve Thanos. I can't wait till Thanos kills that entire fucking planet.
That's what I'm saying. Michael B. Jordan was the hero.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dog, he had some solid points.
Everything he said was right.
Outside of beating up women, he had some solid fucking points.
He beat up women?
Dog, he beat the shit out of like 3 women in that movie. He killed like 2 of them.
That's equality. So it's different.
It is equality, though.
If a woman got a weapon, if a woman got a weapon, that's not a woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that. If a woman point a knife at me, she's getting knocked out.
I mean, that's
bro, she's getting
that's
crushed.
True equality, isn't it?
I'm just saying.
That's true equality. Like, we
lying?
First off, it's a movie, so I don't want anybody in my mentions like, oh my God, you support women getting beat up. I'm like, yo, it's a movie. All the women in there were outside of Black Panther, the women were the biggest badasses in the entire movie.
First of all, if a girl got a buzz cut, she could get knocked out. Let's keep it real. You got a buzz cut and a vibranium spear. You pointing at me, and I'm supposed to be like, I don't hit women.
My God, I don't hit women. No. The first
Once
fucking
G.I.
scene.
Jane came out, women were free range.
The first fucking scene you see Okoye in. The first fucking scene you see her in, she drops down from the spaceship, puts a fucking spear through somebody, and is like, you hesitated, and walked off. And we're supposed to get mad that Michael Jordan punched in the face a few times?
Yo, son, she's
killing people like she's a warrior.
Michael B. Jordan took out, what's his face, Black Panther.
Yeah,
he's taking out everybody. Come on.
Dog, the dude's name's Killmonger. He has a mark for every person he's killed. Like, he's got to throw in a couple women in there, at least. Just statistically speaking.
He shot Shorty right in the head.
Right in the head. His own shorty.
His own shorty.
His own shorty, man. But hey. Is what it is. He wanted that.
He's the hero.
He wanted that thorn, bro. That throne, man.
He's the hero. Okay. Maybe we should get it. You know how we do this podcast. We don't get into sports right away.
Let's get into it.
Let's kind of. Okay. I want to talk about. We got to get rid of Zaza Pachulia. I think it's done. I think it's done. I really do think it's done because it's only so many times that you can repeat the same shit. And here's the reality. So if you guys don't know what happened is Zaza fell on Russell Westbrook, and luckily Russell didn't get injured, but it was weird the way he fell.
Oh, no, it wasn't weird. He tumbled.
Okay, he tumbled. He tumbled. I'm clumsy.
He tipped over. I'm like, come on.
I'm also in the 0.01% of athletes in the world, but I'm clumsy. It's one or the other, goofball. You can't be both.
It's fucked up how KD's like trying to defend it. So like, oh man, he's just clumsy. I'm like, come on, dude.
Okay, so here's the question: you're either clumsy, right, or you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
But either way, you're a liability.
Facts.
So
I don't want you, like that's my thing. Like if this is if I'm Steve Kerr, like I get it.
Fuck
like,
the other teams. Your own team,
bro. Like at one point, it's gonna come to a point where it's like, dog, like you can't be either this clumsy or I'm gonna end up like losing you because they're either gonna fine you or suspend you for like purposely injuring people after a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the same thing with, and you're not nearly as good as Draymond is. Like when Draymond was kicking people in the nuts, it was like, oh well, he kicks people in the nuts, but he gives us like triple doubles. Like what are you gonna do?
He justifies it.
They let him cool, but Zaza, it's like no, like you're like the third best center on the team, if that. We just like your name.
You would like your name. You, I guess, understand the fundamentals or know how to run the offense. I don't even know why you're out
Reminds
there.
me of Ric Flair. Have you ever watched Ric Flair wrestle?
No.
He's very fucking dirty, and he acts like he doesn't know what he's doing, but like he'll be like real clumsy, and like he'll like fall his elbow into somebody's nuts and be like, oh, ref, I didn't see. I don't know. What are you talking about? It's like, come on, Ric Flair. You won 16 fucking world championships. You really don't know when your arm's going to fly under somebody's nuts.
That's
or
the greatest compliment you've ever bestowed on Zaza.
Oh, yeah. He'll never in his life be compared to Ric Flair ever again after this. Ever in his life. But, I mean, you know, they called him the dirtiest player in the game. Like, he would just do shit to get underhanded tactics and win matches, but it would not be in the cleanest way possible. So.
Right. And if it was a real sport, like, and I'm not trying to knock wrestling, meaning like if it was a sport that you actually had to adhere to the rules,
and that's the thing.
This guy wouldn't be in the game anymore.
In the show, like when you watch wrestling, the referees after a while they like. Maybe the first 2 times they're like, oh man, I guess we don't know. But the third time the ref gets hip to it. It's like, nah, fuck that. Disqualify him or they'll make a rule like, yo, the next time you hit somebody in the nuts, like you lose your title. Like it's always some shit. Like after a while, you're a liability and you can't do shit like that.
But we're not doing it with Zaza.
You know what I mean? But like, who else did he take? He hurt him before.
Kawhi.
He hurt Kawhi, which significantly changed the Western Conference Finals. And a number of other people, man. It's just like,
but then it was something before Kawhi.
I think it was Westbrook again because I remember he said, "I'm gonna get you back" or something. This is way before when.
All I'm saying is I don't fucking trust this guy. I don't like him. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Somebody help him out.
This is the most time Zaza Pachulia will ever get on the podcast.
On the Flagrant 2 podcast. Then we're done.
Fuck that guy.
Yo, LeBron brought up a great. Okay, here's another thing that's been bothering me. And I got a lot of. I didn't really get shit on it, but like, did you see that horrible foul call on your likeness, James Harden?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and I commented, this ref should get shot.
Yeah,
and I triggered everybody on the House of Highlights page. About too soon. This, whatever. Yeah, but shouts to Omar. Love Omar, but some sensitive ass fucking bitches that are on that page. But it was this, and LeBron even touched on it. Yeah. LeBron said that shooters are getting more foul calls than guys that are driving the basket.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks dig the long ball.
That's what he said. Yeah, chicks dig the long ball.
But it's absurd. We got to make a change to this. A rule change needs to happen, and it's one of those things that I thought about like this, right? If you create contact at the rim, it's not a foul.
But if you create contact away from the rim,
it is. Where's the consistency? If my hands are, if you go up to the basket, try to dunk on me or try to lay it up on me, and I have my hands up, and you hook your arm underneath my hand, but my hand is in the same position, you'll never get called.
Yeah.
I'll never get called for that foul. But if you sneakily do it at the 3-point line,
for some reason that's a natural basketball defensive move, and somebody wants to do that, and that doesn't make. That's never really made sense to me. Shanae was on SportsCenter today. She made a very good point.
What'd she say?
She was talking about
Hi, Shanae.
Referees use a hot stove rule, right? When you're playing defense. So like if you touch the guy, you know what I mean, that's your one like warning before, you know, you don't touch the stove again. Right. So if you touch it again, it's a foul. And that only occurs like away from the hoop for some reason. That does not occur underneath the hoop where the majority of contact happens. And you know, it's for some reason that guards like Harden, guards like I guess Ginobili used to do this a lot. Wade used to do this a lot.
Chris Paul does it all the time.
They have created, and I guess like just the NBA has just fallen in love with offense so much, which I get it. It puts asses in the seats. It's entertaining.
But driving to the basket is offense.
It is, but at the same time, it's not as cute. It's not as cute as James's game,
bro.
And it falls on the referees too, man. Like referees for a long time, don't call the call on the floor. They anticipate the call, just to keep like the rhythm to the game going. So it's sometimes you've seen James Harden do that same step back hesitation, pump fake a million times, and even if the defender doesn't fall for it, if you get the referee good enough, he's gonna blow the whistle.
Yeah,
and it's terrible, and it's like. I guess it's like force of habit or whatever, and I guess we see it a million times over, and you've done, it's your 40th game in 45 nights, and you're in fucking, what's bubblefuck, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
You're gonna, fuck it, it's a whistle, whatever, And it's whack, dog. Like, I would much rather see a late call than an awful call.
Dude. Give us late calls or just give us consistent calls.
Yeah.
Make a decision what you want to do. I honestly think they should get rid of the whole pump fake. I get you in the air and then I jump into your body.
Yeah, that's what they tried to do.
Here's the rule. If I, the offensive player, create the contact, no foul.
No, I don't. See, it's a thin line, though.
I thought this over. If I'm creating the contact, meaning if I'm going to the basket, you're moving and I'm moving, right? And I jump and you jump, foul, because we're both moving, right? But if I jump over you that way and you jump into my way, like I purposely jump to avoid you during your shot, and you jump into my way and just throw the whole ball behind you, how is that a foul?
I think the way
would that work on the street? Like if we play street ball. I'm just saying.
Like if you call that, like if you're calling your own calls,
I'll punch someone
and
in the face.
you're playing a game, like a fight breaks out.
Everyone's punch you in the face if you did. If you try to catch me with a pump fake, and like get the fuck out of here.
But at the same time, I understand, certain, and it's harder to play defense and offense. I don't care what nobody says. Like defense is a skill as well,
of course.
But I think. To your point about like creating contact, sometimes it feels like you're rewarding bad defense if you don't make that call. You know what I mean? Like in the perfect world, you should be moving your hands, moving your feet, not touching me, just putting hands on the ball, hands in the face, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you're not quick enough to keep up with me, and like I'm creating contact because you're slow, you got to reward me. You know what I mean? Like you can't just, that's not good defense at the end of the day. But I do think that the whole pump fake and jump into you shit is bullshit. I do think, the whole, if I got my arm up here and it's not a natural basketball move and you're putting your arm underneath someone's armpit.
Swooping and under, get out of here.
That's why in the beginning of this show, when we first started doing this podcast, I didn't think James Harden was going to win MVP.
He shouldn't.
I mean, he will.
I don't want him to anymore. I don't want him to anymore. It's not basketball.
That's what we said.
It's trickery.
It's like, dog,
you're not playing the game. This is not how the game was designed. You're not playing true basketball. It's trickery.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. And I really like James Harden. I've said on this show, I think he's the most skilled offensive player in the league. He doesn't need this nonsense.
When he's not doing that, he's fucking amazing to watch. But that's the thing, though. Is he amazing to watch because he knows he gets those calls? Because like when he gets, like, how many people do you see literally just outside of like Stephen Curry, literally just dance at the top of the key. And he's just dancing and like he could just literally step back or step forward or whatever. Because he knows like you don't want to draw that contact with him. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's a weird manipulation of the rules that I haven't really seen since like Jordan, honestly. You know what I mean? Like as far as like, except that Jordan, like when Jordan was playing, they were really fucking fouling you.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was really getting hit and having to turn around and throw that shit back up on the backboard to hope it gets in or whatever, because there was monsters in the paint before. Like if you went into the paint, you were getting hit
every single time.
And I haven't seen anybody like manipulate refs like that since.
It's just
Jordan.
odd. Like, why are we so soft on these guys shooting? If a guy's in the post, if a big is in the post, there is constant contact.
Yeah.
It's bang, bang, bang.
If
you bang three times up above the 3-point line while you're bringing the ball up, they're calling you for a hand check.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not in the post.
But nobody cares about big guys.
Pick a choice. I mean, just pick a lane. Go for it. Like, all I want is consistency. Tell me how to play this game.
Yeah.
But I don't like this idea where we're just favoring these guys for flailing and throwing up shots from the 3-point. I don't even like that part of the game. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's not fun to watch.
How often do you see Iverson do that shit? Just create space.
It was different, man.
And put up the buckets.
It was different. But
I don't know.
I'm sounding so old when I say that shit though, because I do love the current product of the NBA. I love it, but it's like certain shit like that, man. It's like, come on, dog.
Shit.
Like,
I mean, honestly, how often do you see Steph do it?
I mean, he doesn't have to because he could shoot it from 50 feet out. Like, he doesn't need to get you in the air. Like, you can have his face like this; it's still going in.
How often do you see Kyrie do it? Kyrie goes to the basket, he gets contact.
You just picked like the greatest shooter of all time and probably the greatest ball handler of all time.
I'm comparing them to James Harden.
Yeah,
I'm not comparing them to just regular guys in the league. I'm comparing them to James Harden. It's like this game is soft, dude. It's not some shit you're proud of. I mean, you're not going to the locker room after like, bro, did you see how they got that guy to jump and then I
went to the line 25
like
times
a fucking
today.
sea bass on a boat? That's what he looks like. He looks like a fish gasping for air every time he does that stupid little he's got to be embarrassed. I think that's how we handle it. We shame it. Like, remember when guys used to dribble like up and down like it was a yo-yo?
Yeah.
Right? And then we just made fun of them until they learned how to kind of carry the ball a little bit.
And it's just like no left hand, just on the right side.
Like you're fencing or some shit like that, or like walking a tiny poodle. And then we just shame them until they didn't do it anymore. And that's what we should be able to do. Like, every time Harden does that, everybody in sports news, everybody at the stadium, everything should just yell, gay, or some shit like that. I don't know. Maybe we're more progressive. Maybe we're beyond that, or something. I don't know. That. I don't know what it is.
I'm for it though. I'm kind of for it at this point.
Sassy. That's what we go. Sassy. There we go. That's what we have
like.
to do.
I think the only reason why it bothers us is because we know he doesn't need to do that shit.
That's the thing. It's infuriating.
He doesn't need to do that shit. Like, it's like, come on, dog. Like, you're a phenomenal offensive player, and it's like
if you know Queer Eye for the Straight Guys back. Yeah. If they came to James Harden, you didn't know? Oh, I'm all about it, bro.
I'm surprised that you. I'm not surprised at you.
Come on, bro. I know all about this shit. I'm out here. I got to know all these moves the day before they make them. All I'm saying is, if they came to James Harden's house to remodel his game, they'd be like, "No, everything's fine. I think you got it. Everything's good here. This is sassy enough. You're cute enough. It's all good." It's just the game. I can't. It's infuriating, dude.
It is.
I saw that play and I lost it, and I wanted the ref never to play. I want the ref never to play again.
I mean, you know,
shame the ref too.
I can't even shame the ref, dude, because it's like, dog, like, you're getting manipulated into this. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, and this is what kind of is gonna cost James Harden in the playoffs and in bigger games. Because the microscope is going to be so much bigger on him there.
And then those calls don't.
And those calls aren't going to happen in the playoffs. Those calls are not going to happen in bigger games. Those calls aren't going to happen in the next couple of seasons because we're going to be shaming those refs. They're going to be on House of Highlights getting shamed.
Yeah, Omar, that's what we need you to do, bro. When you put those posts up, we need a nice little hashtag. What should the hashtag be?
Shame the ref.
Shames Harden or shame Harden. Shames Harden or something like that.
Shames Harden,
something soft. What did we say about his game? Like,
it was very cute.
It was cute. It was adorable. What'd you say? What was the actress that you said?
I said his game was Katie Holmes.
No.
It's not Nicki Minaj.
No. It was one name. She's like black or Latina chick, young.
Tinashe?
No,
who
younger.
Was it?
Actress. I think
Zendaya?
Zendaya. Yeah. Every time he does some cutesy
his
shit.
Game is Zendaya.
Zendaya Harden out here with the flops. Dude, it is
very dainty game.
Dainty. It's so dainty. We just need to put petals, like little daisies out there. Just throw daisies on every single clip until he just stops doing it. That's the only way we can change it. We're not going to be able to stop the rule. You're right. These rules actually make sense on paper, and he's taking advantage of them, and the guys like him are taking advantage of them. So it's up to us as basketball fans to boo and ridicule and shame Zendaya Harden when he does this bullshit and the other players that do it. And let's get a list of all the players that do it.
I feel like we did the same sort of shame. When's the last time a player got like really shamed for his game? I want to say it was like Dwight Howard.
It was Draymond.
Was it Draymond?
Literally we were like, bro, why do you love dicks? Yeah, you keep touching people's dicks, dude. And we kept saying he hasn't kicked a guy in the dick since. But it was like rollerblading. Somebody called rollerblading gay, and everybody was like, well, I'm not
doing that shit no more.
It's a great exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Joakim Noah. It's another one who got shamed.
Joakim Noah got shamed.
Terrible for
maybe. I mean, Vlade got, but it didn't really. Maybe he was grandfathered into that shit.
I think they shamed Dwight Howard a little bit.
For what though?
Just like he was kind of like, to me, he kind of seemed like one of the last of a bygone era of bigs. Like he was the last big guy who was like good that wasn't really a good ball handler. They couldn't really shoot, couldn't really do nothing. Like he would have been the shit in like the early 90s.
Right.
Like if he was like a little taller, maybe stronger, you know, he's probably strong enough to play in the 90s, but he would have been the shit in the 90s, but like now he's kind of like a fossil. Like he's kind of like a dinosaur. Like,
it is weird to see his game out there.
It is.
Antiquated, yeah.
It's like he was at one point he was that fucking. He went to the finals. He carried a team to the finals, past the LeBron James team to the NBA finals.
Wow, that's true.
And now we just look at him like, we're not even sure if he's worth like a second round pick.
Yo, it's true.
We trained for him.
Wow,
it's crazy.
Yeah, the fall off is real.
Life comes at you fast, bro.
Okay, so what do we do to shame him? What do we put? We got to tell the asshole army to get out there and throw something else out. What is it? Every time you see a clip of these flops, and specifically like the pump fake and just throw your hands out there. And what's even worse is when they kick their feet wide.
Yeah.
Have you seen them do that fucking
it's
jumping
like, sure,
that's
a natural jump shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me do an air split or a grand plie for people
exactly. This ballerina
go to
shit.
ballet and shit.
What can we call it?
Oh man,
come on, you're the marketing genius.
I do like James Harden though.
James Harden
works, man.
What else? But there's got to be something like you got to make them feel insecure. You got to attack their masculinity. That's the only way you change it.
Is there a skirt emoji?
Ooh, a skirt emoji.
One with the nails.
With the nails?
Hey,
that's a very dainty emoji.
That is dainty.
Yo,
yeah.
Asshole army. Whenever you see James Harden pull off that BS foul or that BS bait that he does for people, I want you to leave
the manicure
fingernail emojis in this man's comment section and tag him.
Yep.
Until he gets shamed into playing like a man again.
Exactly. Because we know it's in you, James.
We've seen it.
We know it's
I've seen you do this.
Matter of fact, probably 80% of your points come from man basketball.
Yeah, man. Oof. Speaking of man baskets, man. Our favorite, our grown man, went down with an injury.
Oh,
grown ass man, Jimmy Butler, dog.
Right after a
Flagrant 2 favorite.
I mean, right after the amazing tweet at Lou Williams, did you see that?
Yeah, he was like, "All right, if you think I don't deserve to be an all-star." What was it? We put up like 500,000?
100,000.
$100,000.
So Lou Williams was upset because Jimmy Butler didn't even play in a game.
Yeah.
And then he was...
Apparently he was getting lit the night before.
Yeah, of course he was. Yeah, and doing squats or something. But and then he goes, and then Jimmy said, I'll put 100K on a one-on-one game. And then he went out and he tore his fucking meniscus on non-contact.
Which, not for nothing, kind of think Lou Williams takes him one-on-one.
I'm not going to lie.
Kind of think he takes him one-on-one.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It just comes down to if it's make it, take it, and Jimmy gets the ball, he could bully Lou.
Yeah.
But Lou, you're not stopping Lou.
Lou is a point scorer.
That's it. Buckets.
Like, buckets. If it's one-on-one and I got to score, and if it's make it, take it, I'm not sure that Jimmy Butler wins. If we're starting a team,
give me Butler.
Give me Jimmy 10 times out of 10.
That defense, guard multiple positions, the whole thing. But if you need a singular bucket,
give it to Lou Will. So he reminds me of Jamal Crawford in that sense, where it's like he's not the best NBA player.
Smoother than Jamal, though.
Probably. I don't know. I'm a Jamal Crawford fan.
All right, fair.
But he's in the same class of. He's not the best NBA player, but he's definitely, without a doubt, one of the best bucket getters in the NBA. Like without question. Like in maybe like 80% of ideations of other forms of basketball.
Yeah.
Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford fucking rule. Like 3-on-3, 1-on-1, king of the court, all that shit. Like I'm taking those guys almost all the time. But the full game of basketball.
Yeah, you did need different pieces. That's a great call.
I got to think about it a little bit. But.
All right, so Jimmy Butler, right?
Yeah.
And Marco, shout out to Marco. He's getting a lot of shouts this way, but he brought a great point we were talking about in the group chat. He goes, Thibodeau should be put in prison. And I go, what are you talking about? And he does bring up a good point. Butler was, I think, leading the league in minutes played, blows out his knee. You know who blew out his knee last year? Zach LaVine. Who was coaching Zach LaVine last year?
Tibbs.
He fucking grind. Hey, what happened to that Derrick Rose guy? Remember that Derrick Rose guy?
I saw the saddest fucking video of him today, bro.
I'm just saying, Derrick Rose, who was his coach?
Tibbs.
And what happened to his knees?
I mean, did you see the video of him in Cleveland State, like shooting by himself?
No.
Dog, like, because, he got cut by the Jazz. He don't got a team. So there was some guy just like filming video of him like through a window. and he's just sitting there just like practicing floaters by himself.
Oh my god!
And I'm just like, God, it's the saddest fucking shit I've ever seen. Dog.
Holy shit, man!
My God, but I mean, the list goes on. Fucking Luol Deng had to get a fucking spinal tap. Joakim Noah injured. Butler, Rose,
done.
Levine. Like,
bro,
he grinds the fuck out of his star players.
You
man.
can't do it anymore. Maybe in the 90s they were built differently, or maybe they didn't have as much muscle mass. Maybe people were just skinnier in the fucking 90s.
Maybe.
I don't know what it was, but the way these guys played it, maybe they're just playing the game differently now.
And it just looks bad on Tibbs. Like, not for nothing. If I'm Tibbs, I'll just tell the press, like, nah, Jimmy Butler was drunk that night. That's why he didn't play in the All-Star game. Because it's like, literally, Butler was like, yeah, man, I'm tired. And, we're trying to get some rest for, the stretch run. So that's why I'm not playing in the All-Star game. If I'm Tibbs, I'm happy if he just says, yo, I was drunk last night.
Yep.
I'm sitting home.
Yeah, fact.
The last thing I need is another star player that gets burnt out. Because if you burn out Cat.
Well, now we have to have that conversation.
If you burn out Cat, then they might come at Tibbs with like torches and pitchforks, dog.
Facts.
Like probably the most talented young hooper in the game, and you're terrified that you're gonna lose this guy because look at Jimmy, look at all the guards that it's definitely a guard thing, I think, as well.
Yes.
I definitely think it's a guard thing where they just
no Rubio was gone. He traded Rubio.
No, Rubio's gone.
Yeah. All I'm saying is he fucking grinds him away, and it's not only guard because Joakim got fucked up too, and Luol got fucked up as well.
But the funny thing is, Joakim played a lot of point guard. Like there was a lot of times he was running the offense, which is crazy.
Sure.
And he was, he runs a lot.
So here's the question: if you're a player, are you reluctant to play for Thibodeau?
Tibbs strikes me as the type of coach where only people who've played for him before will play for him again. You know what I mean? Like I don't think there's certain players that'll be as successful playing with Tibbs as their coach. Some people need to be coddled. Some people need to be pushed. Jimmy Butler's a man. He's a grown-ass man.
He needs to be pushed.
You can push him. He'll push back. He ain't no pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some players need to be,
nurtured. Yeah.
Nurtured. And
Butler's a throwback. And a lot of these younger guys, they're used to being nurtured. They've been on social media their whole life. People liking their picks and telling them how great they are.
And it's crazy. Even like if you watch the game on ESPN, they were talking about, they did the little, the picture-in-picture when they're like interviewing them like during the game or whatever. And they were just like, the younger kids on the team, if they don't understand me, they just look at me because I translate to them for Tibbs. Like he's not only the best player on the team, he's the leader of the team.
Yeah.
He was the coach on the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the Tibbs translator for them. Like, if he was saying some shit, he'd be like, all right, listen to Jimmy. Jimmy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it sucks because they were having a great season. He was having a great season. And if I'm a star player...
You got to think about it.
You got to think
pause. About it.
It definitely gives me pause.
Am I going to let Thibodeau run me down for 40 minutes a game? How good do my knees feel? We're literally looking at the last 3 star guards that they had, and I'm putting Zach LaVine in there.
Yeah,
have knee surgeries
from like non-contact injuries. Like it's bad.
Right.
Like that's scary. That's a scary thought.
Frightening.
Yeah,
frightening. Something's going on.
95% in like Sunday practice.
Exactly. Something's happening.
Something's happening in those practices. That's fucking up.
Well, we have a guest here.
We got a guest today. A very rare guest, man.
Got big shoes to fill.
Huge shoes to fill. The last guest we had was Loopy.
Oh, yeah. Loopy? Shouts to Loopy. He's out of rehab. Hopefully, you don't have the same.
Yo, we got
That's
my
what
man.
Happens after Flagrant 2 is you got to check yourself
you gotta get checked in.
But I think he's back. So
he is back. So shout out to Spencer Paysinger, man. He's over here.
Come on in, bro.
Super Bowl champion for the New York Giants. Which one are you going to
doesn't matter. Either one. Because you have buddies that are there?
Yeah, right here is good.
Yeah, they should be coming out.
Well, if they want, they can hang out and just watch,
Yeah, you can pull them up, too. You grab that mic right here. Former Miami Dolphin, Super Bowl champion for the New York Giants. You're in town right now. It's funny how we kind of got connected.
Yeah.
Through
we have a connect as well.
I did not know.
Oh, yeah. Man, we got news for you, bro.
Right
You start.
Really?
You start it.
Please, let me know.
No, I want you to start.
We know each other through Twitter.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the podcast or whatever, and I was like, oh wow. I was like, well, it's cool when you got pro athletes actually listening to the show and stuff like that. And he was kind of shitting on our football takes because they weren't that great.
Yeah, I got some weird football takes.
We said we're assholes. We're not experts.
This is true.
Yeah, man, this is analysis by assholes.
Analysis by assholes. Yeah, so you can't get mad at our football takes.
To see the detail of basketball talk, as I have seen for the past 30 minutes, when you guys go into the realm of football, it's hilarious.
Yeah, because nobody knows football.
Yeah.
This is the thing about football, and I think we've said it on the show, it's the most appreciated and enjoyed sport that nobody knows how it works. Like, if you ask the average person, hey, what's a nickel defense? They'll be like, I know what that shit looks like on Madden. I don't know where the guys are. You know what I mean? Exactly.
I was like,
I see circles,
and shit. I see the circles. Go zone.
Look like drone strikes to me, bro. I got no clue. This is the damage area? All right, bet. So that's the thing. It's like, y'all know the game.
Yeah.
So you probably hear, I bet you even hear experts on ESPN talk about it. You're like, what the fuck?
Wrong.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just not. The inner workings of football is just not relatable
Right.
to the everyday person. Like I always say, you got to be damn near crazy to play this game.
Yeah.
To do what you got to do to
We've said that a lot on this show.
Yeah, and that's why I know I can talk openly with you guys. You guys like somewhat, for the most part, understand the psyche behind a football player. Where myself, like I'm an econ major, but my job for the past 7 years has been banging my head against other people. It makes absolutely no sense.
What's the ROI on that?
I can't even understand why I'm doing it. Or why I did. I just retired in January.
I mean, you tweeted something yesterday. Dog. You said,
pussy. Let's keep it very real. Keep it very real, dog.
I'm locked down.
But you got locked down before football or during?
During.
There you go.
There you go. Get your licks in before you lock it down.
That's why you getting out, bro. Fuck am I banging my head for no reason for? I already locked it down.
Well, you tweeted something interesting yesterday. You said, you're here on business.
Yes.
And he said it's more enjoyable coming here for this than it was, playing football.
Absolutely.
And why is that? Well, tell the people why you're out here and what you're working on, actually.
So I'm here for a week-long business combine. It was put together by Caleb Thornhill.
Okay.
He was a player engagement coach for the Miami Dolphins. And last year, Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, put it on for just Dolphins players. So a week-long event where we're meeting with CEOs of various company, Warby Parker, Harry's. We just met with Mav Carter earlier today. We just met with a media company named Exos. So literally just this immersive experience for players. Ndamukong Suh's up here with me. Cam Wake is here. Bunch of other guys, like about 30 other guys. So, but to explain it, it's been like, I played here for 4 years. Won a Super Bowl here. But whenever I don't have to use my body to run into another person to potentially set up my life, well, like a career. I always say football is a job.
Speak a little closer to that
My
mic.
bad.
It's all good.
I always say football is a job, not a career, no matter how long you play. Because at the end of the day, you can play 10 years and get out when you're 30. Now what? So being able to be at this point in my career and know that I could put on a suit or some jeans and some fresh ones right now, like I'll choose that over football any day.
Yeah, I mean it kind of felt like in the past 4 or 5 years. You started seeing a lot of people retire like much earlier.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I forgot who it was. I think it was like
a lot of people choosing to retire instead of the league kind of making that choice for
I think it was like Anthony Davis on the Niners. Like he was like a really good offensive tackle. And I think he retired at like 27.
There was that white kid on the Niners who retired before he even played.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
Borland.
Yeah,
Borland.
Something like that. Yeah.
And it's like a lot of these guys are, with everything that you're starting to learn more about the NFL, and especially that, you said you're here with like a bunch of former players and just learning more about the business side, where it's like, a lot of people really don't, set themselves up for life after football. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you're setting yourself up for life after football, especially in a time where, make no mistake about it, football's kind of in danger a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like, with concussions and race issues and fan interest and all these things, like football's in a really precarious position. So like, how do you kind of see, how do you see it from your perspective as a former athlete or, somebody kind of getting into that new life after football?
I would say the football that I know is the football that we all know is in danger. Like when they started to talk about going through the middle and defensive players and all that stuff, some of those passing records were up for 20 years.
Yeah.
And as soon as they started doing the targeting, the defensive players, literally 4 quarterbacks a year break those passing yard records now.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of how I see the game, it's completely going to be different in 5 or 10 years because you just can't hit anymore.
Yeah.
And not saying like I want to go out there and kill people and take headshots at every single person, but now when I try to hit somebody or if I'm trying to make a play, I have to second guess.
You got to think about
football,
it.
You can't second guess, or else that's the difference between a touchdown or you're getting a $15,000 penalty. Like whenever you see a personal foul be called from defensive hit, that dude that got that call, that's 15,000 straight up, 10 to 15,000. So when you see him looking around like talking to his boys, he's talking about that check. He just played this whole game for free. That's insane.
Yeah,
I never really think about that.
For free.
Yeah,
there's something that I was watching. I was watching downhill skiing, and I know this is very weird. I was watching downhill.
Take me there.
But it's something you brought up, and I'll get there to it. But it was a little piece on that white chick. What's her name? That Tiger Woods dated.
Lindsey
Vonn.
Yeah.
And she said. She just said this kind of like nonchalantly, but she's like, oh no, it was Bodie Miller. That's it. It was Bodie Miller. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about downhill skiing. And he goes, I wasn't as talented as these other guys, or as athletic. Where I could make the difference up was the amount of risk that I took. Mm. Now, you said earlier, you have to be crazy to kind of play this game where you throw the ball. In similar to a lot of these extreme sports, because football, whether we like to admit it or not, is an extreme sport.
Yes.
The advantage in some places comes from turning off that part of your brain that goes survive now.
Absolutely.
Because we all walk down the street and then we see like some slippery stairs and we go, I should take the long way. You know what I mean? But you guys are like, I'm just going to jump down all of them. I'm going to see if I can make it, right? And the same shit with Bodie Miller. He was like, I might not have the physicality, but I will risk my life more. That's crazy. A fucking skill. Yeah. And in football, you think about it as well, like a guy who goes over the middle.
Yeah.
He's basically going, I'm going to risk my life. And a guy who hits that guy going full speed.
Yeah.
It's the guy who's willing to.
So how do you shut that off?
Risk. Yeah.
Like people go, oh my God, why was Josh Brown drunk before every game? Why is everybody not drunk before the game? It's like we get drunk so we could talk to a girl. Imagine you had to headbutt a human. Like, how drunk I would be?
I might not walk out of this game today. Like I'm taking 5 shots before
Exactly. How is anybody doing this sober?
Just drinking a cushion, just putting it on.
Right, that's it.
Body armor.
Oh my God.
So how do you turn that down? This natural human instinct to protect yourself.
Well, honestly, I think you just got to like weigh the pros and cons behind stuff. Like 2 years ago, I took a hit to my right shoulder. I lost all feeling in my right arm for 2 weeks. Literally, like when you sleep, when you sleep when your arms are long and you get up and you're just like,
that shit just wobbling.
Like that's how my arm felt for 2 weeks. I had to do exercises and workouts to try to get even the strength back. Even to this day, like. These 2 fingers right here still aren't 100%. Like, these 2 fillings are different. So you just have to sit down and say, okay, why am I playing this sport? I'm playing to put my family in a better position. I'm playing to potentially pay a mortgage. Mm-hmm. At the time, I just got done getting married, so I had a fucking wedding to pay for.
Yeah, that's real. So you better sign up checks with your left hand.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, sometimes it really just comes down to a business decision. Like, you're putting yourself in harm's way for the betterment of your family, for the advancement of your family. And
yes, it's still survival.
It's still survival. Yeah.
Yeah, you're weighing the risk. Like, that's okay, crazy. This gives me a way better shot. Yeah, it's fascinating to me, man. It's something we kind of take for granted watching. I don't think we assess the risk of every play.
And I think that's kind of like why when we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, I think that's a little bit of a reason why like people are kind of turning away from the NFL a little bit. Because it's like, now we kind of know.
Yeah, we know how bad it is.
We know, like, back in the day, like, you used to see somebody get hit. They showed a million times on Sports Centers, like, oh, what a hit, yada, yada, yada. And, like, you don't see the follow-up. But it's like, we know so much about, like, the after effects, like 10 years, 5 years, even 2 years.
Yeah.
Some people are fucked up. Like,
it's like
up. And
it's like if we had that show. Remember that show Ridiculousness, where they just fall all the time and they hit their nuts on the things.
Yeah.
Like, what if there was a show after that about where they are 3 years later, and they were all in like wheelchairs and that kind of stuff?
That would not be a fun show.
It's a horrifying
Chanel
TV
West
show,
Coast
right?
would not be laughing. She would not be over here giggling.
What's so funny, bitch?
It's like, yeah, remember when I fill up that
out here.
That's crazy. Like MTV had a show Scarred.
Yes.
Scarred. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It was like I couldn't watch it. I watched the first episode. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Like,
and then 2 days later, I'm putting on a helmet. I'm like, all right, let's go.
These people are crazy.
I can never do this shit.
What are they doing? Putting their body in harm's way?
Let's go. I want to switch gears a little bit, man. I just want to get, we got you in here. We got you talking a little bit about yourself. But, since Akaash isn't here, you're going to kind of take his place for a little bit. So you'll mind us talking some takes. The NCAA right now is going through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? You're a college athlete. You were a college athlete.
Where'd you play ball? Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
with whom?
Perfect city.
Who was your quarterback?
I had Darren Thomas for 2 years, Jeremiah Masoli for 1 year. I left when Mariota came in.
I was wondering.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, you and Kelly.
Yeah, I was with Chip for 3 years.
Ooh, cool. Okay.
All right. Nice. All right. So Oregon is like the epicenter of this, this kerfuffle with the NCAA right now. It kind of started early in the year.
Kaz is the realest dude I'll ever meet to also use the word kerfuffle. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Listen, it's a good word to...
Don't get it twisted. You could get put in a headlock. All right? But I'm still say kerfuffle.
It's a good word to bring the defense down for white people. You say kerfuffle, I was like, oh, this guy's all right with me. It started early in the year with like Rick Pitino and Louisville and the Adidas scandal. You know what I mean? Adidas based out of Oregon, Nike's based out of Oregon. And it kind of seems like all of these, the dark underbelly of college sports that's been like the worst kept secret and everything. Like, I didn't even play like super high level college basketball, but I went to high school with a lot of people who did end up playing high level college basketball, NBA, all these type of things.
And they all got paid.
And even then, like you see just people you don't really recognize on the sideline all the time. You always see certain people get like some kicks that nobody else got. You know what I mean?
Shout out to World Wide West. We appreciate you.
There's always been some shady shit going on.
Come on now.
And I kind of feel like back then it was almost frowned upon a little bit. It's like, oh man, look at these cheaters. You know what I'm saying? These guys are cheating, yada, yada, yada. But like now we're at the point where it's like, nah, like the system's fucked up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like now people are starting to get it, especially when we're seeing like, the Bowl Championship Series or the Final Four and like all these $billion things from a nonprofit organization that aren't paying the workers, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking as somebody who's played high Division I college sports, what's your experience with that? And just with everything as far as like...
You got paid, bro?
Man,
did anything ever get...
Nah.
You got paid? Mom and dad got a
I'm
house?
going to start this out by saying I was a 2-star receiver coming out of high school.
Okay.
Nobody was paying me.
So you had to...
I didn't get a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, 2-star and it's out of 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
So nobody going in your Uber.
Nobody
wasn't no $3,000 steak dinners at Mastro's.
When I found out people were doing that, I was looking around like I'd already been at Oregon a couple years, and once I started hearing some stories, I was kind of waiting for my moment. Like, where's
the money?
I guess so.
Hey, like, I'm gonna leave my window on crack to see if any envelopes fall in or what have you. But my experience with it was I had a player on my team, Fanuki Tupou, and he was like our star tackle, I believe.
Yeah.
He got suspended 2 games for taking a lunch with an agent, and the agent paid for a $10 sandwich.
Jesus Christ.
And he didn't even know he did anything wrong. So the next day, he was talking to one of the coaches on the team, and he just mentioned like, "Oh yeah, he picked up lunch." The coach had to submit that to the NCAA for feel good or whatever. And he was taken out for 2 games. And now when he's going through the draft, they're asking him character questions. They're asking him, why did you do that? He was like, it was a sandwich.
Yeah.
It was a turkey sandwich.
But those details never come out.
No,
it's always just like,
he took money.
Sit him down.
I think the tricky thing with that is that you got to think about like the secondary action to a lunch. right? Because if we say, oh yeah, you can go to lunch, all of a sudden you're going to have an agent go, you know what, let me take you to lunch, and I'm just going to leave a huge tip on the table, and if you happen to take some of that tip, that's what, that's what they're trying. Like, once you open the gate a little bit, it's similar to what we're talking about the NBA.
Yeah.
Once you say that you can get this flop foul, well, what happens if I sneak my arm under your arm, et cetera? So it's
and that's why it's gone on for so long, because it was things like that where it's just like it's been a large unspoken rule that's gone on everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Like kids, I knew kids in high school that were getting money. You know what I mean? Like I know kids in everywhere, everywhere. So it's like there's ways around it. There's runners and gophers and like certain people that, you know, were the liaison between, you know, the sneaker companies and the agents and the coaches and all this other shit. So things never ended up turning back towards the university or the school or whatever.
Can't you guys just babysit some donor's kid for tons of money?
That's a job. That makes you
it's illegal to have a job?
As a student athlete, it's illegal and damn near impossible to have a job.
Yeah.
Because if you think about during the season, my schedule was you wake up at 6:30, you got practice, you got meetings, you got weightlifting. Then you got to go to class from 12 to maybe about 4 o'clock in the day. Then you have to go back to the facility around 5 to 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then get home and you got homework or study hall. So there's legit no time for you to have a job that would even give you enough money to buy groceries by the end of the month.
And then you look up at certain athletes that end up getting into trouble like for stealing stuff or like, you know, and you're like, oh my God, how can this kid steal crab legs because he was hungry or like
that was ambitious.
Like, crab legs
it was kind of bold. It was kind of bold.
You can't
dog.
sneak no fucking crab legs.
I'm like, bro, you're the quarterback, though. Like, you can't. Like, we all know what you look like.
Biscuit in your pocket. You walking out with 15 crab legs.
But I mean, it's
weird that you can't have a job. It's almost un-American. Why would you infringe on somebody's ability to make a living? I think that's illegal.
It's not all college athletes though, because it's like if you're in the Olympics. Yeah. Like if you're a
get to work at Home Depot.
Skater, like if you're an Olympic golfer or an Olympic figure skater or whatever,
best,
like you can get endorsements from people and still be in school or still be, you know.
So this is just NCAA greediness.
Yeah, it's a fucked up kind of, you know, monopoly that the NCAA has just to keep from paying their wage workers. You know what I mean? What they're worth.
But take it one step further. MLB draft prospects. You can actually, if you play baseball, you can actually get drafted by a team, get paid by them, go to their spring ball, and then say, oh, you know what? I'm going to go play football. I'm going to go back to school instead. And you can go through the college system of baseball and then get redrafted.
Yeah.
So you can cake up 2 times.
Yeah, a lot of really good football players. Russell Wilson did that. He got drafted He played for the Yankees this week, actually.
That's right.
But a lot of players do that. That's crazy, man. Like I don't understand how. All right, so say I'm put you in Miles whatever's shoes, the guy who runs the NCAA. Yeah. March Madness is in like 6 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, how do you fix this? What do? You got all your blue blood colleges under the microscope. You got like at least like the top 10 of the top 20 players going in the NBA draft allegedly took some money. You know what I'm saying? Like you got this whole shadow going over your $1 billion empire that's going down in about 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. You're the president of NCAA. What do? You
got to start discussions of paying them. You have to. I've spent a lot of time with other players the past couple of days trying to figure out how do you stop this bleeding? Because it affects us, it affects the guys that are coming after us. You got to start the discussion of paying them. Like it's as simple as that.
Here's the question: let's say you pay or a better way to say it is like you're going to have some sort of cap, right? Mm-hmm. And then if there's a cap, they're still going to be accepting money on the side.
I mean,
because that's what happens in the NBA, right? There's a salary cap in the NBA, but then Nike goes, "Yo, let me throw you $10 million a year to be my."
That's always been my cure for this in the NCAA. My thing is, you want to fix the NCAA, you just make it a free enterprise, dog. NCAA don't even got to pay you. The college don't even got to pay you, dog. But if I'm fucking Joe Blow from St. John's College and the Applebee's down the street want to pay me $500 to come sign some autographs, I'm fucking go sign some autographs and get $500. Like, what does that have to do with you?
I have the same feeling. My feeling is you should, as a free American citizen, be able to make money off of your likeness.
Mm-hmm.
Just your likeness. If you want to sign autographs, if you want to put your face on a fucking car dealership, or you want to do that kind of shit, whatever you want to do it. If the university itself doesn't want to pay because it's amateur status or whatever that is, that's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that, because the reality of the matter is we're talking about 0.5% of collegiate athletes even have a marketable athletic skill. Like what percent of those athletes go on to be professionals?
Less than 1%.
Less than, right. So it's like, we're like, they're going to pay the players. Well, they ain't playing those guys doing the fucking dances on the bench. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to pay. There's one guy per basketball team. Maybe for a great football team, 5 to 10 guys who play. I mean, we're talking about Alabama. 5 to 10. And then the rest, how many end up playing the league?
If that.
It's still hella small.
So small.
It's so tiny, right?
Like, so it's for a shot to get in the league. Like a lot of these people even just get cups of coffee.
That's it.
2, maybe. Like you read these numbers and you see like a guy like DeAndre Ayton, who's like the flat out #1 pick next year, getting only $100,000. Well, where's he from? I bet he's not. That's a fucking steal. You kidding me?
I bet he's not from the city. Where's he from?
I don't know where he's from.
My boy broke it down to me like this. He's like, if you're from the city, like New York cats, it's $250.
At least.
It's $250 if you're from the, but you can get these country kids for like $125.
Bro,
for real,
Isaiah Whitehead
breaking it down, bro.
Isaiah Whitehead got like 70 racks or whatever. And it's like, he's all right. Like, he ain't that nice. I'm like, no, DeAndre Ayton only $100,000?
Yo, man, it's good negotiating out there.
He's got his games alone, like one game of him playing at Arizona alone probably brings in like $500,000. Just that one night of him being there.
Bang.
You know what I mean? Like whatever tournament they go to, the Maui Invitational, whatever the EA Sports shit that they do, you know what I mean, in the beginning of the season, like they are marketing those teams. They're picking those teams right after they commit out of high school because they know these guys are going to be in the league next year and we want to see them play. Like these are billion-dollar corporations that are marketing, they're completing their whole marketing scheme around these high schools that are paying like not even 0.2, 0.5% of what they're going to get for one game.
Yeah.
And to have an FBI probe over that shit, and like the FBI doesn't have worse shit to deal with right now.
Yeah.
You got fucking kids walking in.
You got kids shooting on schools. Yeah, and you're worried about the players getting paid. You know what I mean? Worried about the kids shooting the fucking schools up.
We'll take care of this. We'll get to it, but we're going to take care of this basketball shit right now.
It's like, fuck all these kids bringing guns to school. Niggas are getting paid to play basketball.
It's crazy because I sort of think we drastically overestimate how much a player really wants or how much they need. Like a monthly stipend for an NCAA player is, I don't know if it's changed or not, but it's based off of the median average of a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in that area around the school. So for myself, like we would get $1,200.
Okay.
But a guy at SC back then would get 23, 24, and you hear 23, 2400 a month, like you think you're good, but you don't realize LA housing market is expensive. 1,700 of that is going towards your rent alone.
Yeah. Oh wait, you would have to pay your own rent?
Yeah.
So this,
see, I didn't know that.
I thought that was just spending money, and I was like, yo, I could be all right.
I thought that was part of room. I thought that was room and board. They don't.
No, you have to pay your own rent. You have to pay your own rent, man. And then at some schools, if it was a culture of staying on campus, you would get a little bit less because they are taking care of your rent. But a lot of schools, a lot of the guys, they like to try to save as much as they can, so they'll get a house and they'll bunk up 5 or 6 people to a 3-bedroom house and make do. But at the end of the month, you know, at Oregon, it was $4 something for rent, groceries, put some gas in the car. About it, 2 weeks till the next check, I got $60 in my account. Now, if I have $400, $500 in my account, 2 weeks, I can make that work.
Yeah,
I can go to the store. I can go to the liquor store, buy a bottle for the weekend. Like I wasn't drinking cooked champagne for $3. Yeah. So it was.
You get a bottle of Henny for 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Douce, buddy. Douce.
We're drinking Douce now. My fault,
But at the end of the day, players don't want that 2-week span where they got $15 in their account trying to figure out, yo, should I eat right now, or should I just load up on rice and potatoes once today, or should I try to take something from the cafeteria or what have you? Like They just want to have the comfort of knowing that when they swipe their card, that shit's not going to get declined. So I don't think it needs to be 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 for these players, because you still want to keep that level of, if you're paying them this much, what do they have to look forward to when they get to the league?
Yeah.
So if you're giving them an extra 2, 3, 4 G's a month, that's enough for them to live comfortable, live how they want to live, and actually give you a better product on the field.
Well, that's the other argument, right? You want your players nourished.
You want
that's reasonable, right?
Like,
yeah,
everybody wants to feel wanted.
Like, you want your star player like living off of oodles and noodles.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. What is this?
Motherfucker can't buy some vegetables.
Got mad sodium. You drinking all this water during the game. Like, what the fuck's so thirsty for?
Nah, that's. See, I didn't know about the.
So you're saying if you spiked it, if you doubled what they get in every city, you think that there wouldn't be like a mutiny? Like right now, we're getting close to mutiny, right? We're getting close to the players being like, "This fucked up." It's like
you know who's gonna win that battle?
NCAA.
No,
LeVar Ball.
Why?
At Junior Basketball Association, dog. I'm telling you, bro.
I don't know what this is.
Game. So LeVar Ball next year, he's doing a league for top high school basketball players to get paid. Like, I think that there's like a tier system, but like I guess if like ranked in the top 10. You get like $50,000 a year, or like $20,000 for like other guys, whatever, to join his league
instead of going to school for a year.
College, for a year. And I'm like,
it's not bad.
It's not bad though. Like, I don't know where he's getting the money from to do it.
Yo, who's financing this guy?
I don't even want to know.
But think about this. So there's another organization that Christian McCaffrey's dad is starting. It's literally the same concept, to where it's invite only from high school. They're gonna pay you I think it was like $60,000 to like $80,000 a year, but they're also gonna teach you trade skills. They're gonna, whatever you want to do. If you want to be an engineer, if you want to be a cook, they will hire people and build programs around what the majority of the people want to do. So then after you graduate, you go through this program, they'll place you, because it's all Silicon Valley backed. They're gonna place you like in a startup or in a company that they already have ties to.
See, that's
and then you play, and then you
that's
play.
a true student athlete, though.
So, and I don't want to fuck this up.
It's all, hey man, it's analysis by assholes, bro. It don't matter.
We don't fact check here, guys.
You can be like, yo, the one problem is they make everybody suck each other's dicks before the game. But besides that, it's pretty cool. Nah.
So from what I read, they're teaching the technical skills behind football, because what they've learned is, once these cats go to the league, they don't know the skills behind it. They only know how to succeed in the college football realm. So you look at a team like Oregon that has had some success in college football. A knock on Oregon was we were too small to run with the big guys. So once you get to the NFL and you're dealing with these motherfuckers at 6'5", 330, and the Pac-12 is a fast conference. So myself, I was a big linebacker at 236, 235. So all they're trying to do is they want to teach the skill sets of how to make it in the NFL. But if you don't make it in the NFL, now you have this backing. You have some money in your pocket, and you have this backing of this knowledge, and they will literally place you in one of these companies, or will help you find a company to work for. Like, I think the NCAA...
But they're having games as well, you're saying.
It's going to be like a 6-team league or something. Yeah, it's literally what LeVar was doing, but LeVar got all the shit for it. While this other league is like in the shadows right now.
And you think it will go? You think kids will go?
I think it's going to go. I mean, like, this is kind of the tipping point right now with the NCAA. Like,
this is the beauty of the free market, is because what this will do, it's just like cell phones, right? Cell phones used to give us free internet. Remember we had flip phones?
Word.
Internet was free, right? And then all of a sudden, we got a little better phone, and they charged $60 for internet, right? And then one company came out, and they were like, you know what? It's $30 for internet. Then every other company goes, it's 30. And then one company goes, you have unlimited, but it's 50, and back and forth. Now you get unlimited for whatever. And this is the beauty of the free market. Now you have these kind of schools or these programs that have come out, and they're like, hey, we're going to pay these high school kids. So now the NCAA, in order to be competitive, will have to adjust what they give the students.
They have to.
And I think it's more pertinent for the football to adopt this.
More so than basketball.
More so than basketball.
Why? Oh, because they're there longer.
Because they're there longer. And
done.
Exactly. It's not one and done. Ooh. And I really don't think, I might have seen maybe like 2 or 3 high school football players that are like, okay, he could go to the NFL straight from high school. Like the NFL, like
your body's not developed, right?
You can't. Yeah, like you got to be a man.
I've seen was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, he was one of them.
At 18,
I said Adrian Peterson and Leonard Fournette were the two people I saw in high school.
Leonard Fournette looks 40.
In the NFL now.
I remember seeing
he looks like a CO
magazine with Adrian Peterson on it. I still remember the image, like shoulder pads on, no shirt underneath, holding a helmet. And I was like, this motherfucker is only 18 years old. Did not understand how he was still damn near exiting puberty. Like, it was insane. I was like, he's only going to play 1 year and he's gone. You know, he played 2 or 3 years at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But he was ready to go from the jump.
Really?
Yeah. You just
so
can't.
it's a physical thing, right? There's certain you felt when you were, let's say you got there, you're 18, you weigh how much? And you're a receiver, so you're probably slimmer, right?
I was a receiver at 206.
So you put
maybe.
on 30 pounds of muscle to prepare to play linebacker in the league.
Yep.
And if you were at 210, it just wouldn't be enough sheer physicality to do it.
I would get thrown off the field that way.
Really?
I right now I'm hovering around 245. I know my body so well, and a lot of veteran athletes can do this. They can tell you how much they weigh right now.
without going on a scale.
Because I know I would game plan my body how I would game plan against another team. So say we're playing the Steelers. It's more of a hard-nosed running team. I would get up to 248, 249.
In a week?
Yeah. Oh, it's easy. You can fluctuate 5 pounds easy.
Hold up. This is wild. Alex is nodding because Alex has these like super diets he goes on. Like he got out of a relationship and he was like, I'm just gonna eat salad from 12 to 3 and then nothing after that. But he would actually fluctuate pretty well. Okay, so you're saying you would game plan your weight.
Yep.
And is this common? People in the league do this, or this is something specific to you and a few guys?
It's definitely common.
So you have a big bruising running back you're going up against. Yep. You're going, okay, I'm going to add 10 pounds or 10 pounds this week because I need it just to slow him down.
Yeah. I remember distinctly game planning against Marshawn Lynch, and we all know beast mode. You know,
of course.
He's going down off the first hit. I was about 242. I got up to about 246 that week just because I knew I needed a little bit extra just to hold my shit against him. Now, on the other side, when you're playing against the Chip Kelly offenses of the world, I'm going down to 238. 237.
Really?
I need to run. I'm guarding tight ends. I'm guarding slots. When every time we play the Patriots, all they're doing is running good open routes. So you just got to be able to react quick. So I can't be 245 trying to run around with Julian Edelman and Amendola and those guys. So I'll go down 37, 38, 39 just to make me a step quicker.
And you can feel the difference in speed in 5 pounds.
Yeah. I know if I take on a lineman and he's able to move me to a certain extent where I'm starting to question like what's happening with me, I know I'm under 240.
Really?
For a fact, I know I'm under 240.
That's fucking fascinating.
Yeah. Like, my playing weight's 242 to 244, and I dictated 46, 47 based on the Steelers, based on Seattle when Beast Mode was there. But against the Eagles, against, even the Rams now, the Rams are fucking killing it.
Yeah.
I'll go down to 37, 38, no problem.
And chase around Gurley in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know Gurley's all over the field.
That's right, he's quick. Easiest guy, most overrated running back. Easiest guy for you to handle.
Ooh, most overrated guy. No knock on him, but what was his name? Derek Johnson from
from the Arizona. Yeah.
I mean, he got yards. He was able to catch the ball.
I mean, David Johnson.
David Johnson.
Yeah. He picked him first in my fantasy league. And got hurt.
I mean, he gets you those points. He's able to get 5 or 6 catches a game. He's able to get you 75 to 110. Easy. But when I played against him, I didn't see it. Like
you didn't feel his game.
Locking him down a little bit, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn.
Yeah.
I am.
David's got an email to the guy at the Arizona Stadium right now. Yo, get me some game footage. I need to see me and Spencer right now.
It was just like, even I was trying to like take an assessment of myself. Like, am I balling right now? Or is he just not what I think he is? But you know, he's in that system to where he's able to get those touches, he's able to get those catches, and his workload is so vast that he'll get you those fantasy points. No problem.
That's what I was kind of getting towards, because like David Johnson every year is like the number one guy to go to fantasy, right? Because he gets you the numbers, but like nobody will ever go out and be like, yo, he's the best player in football.
You never mention it.
Like he produces, like he's a great player, he produces, but you don't feel his impact on the field, I guess. Like, is that what you're trying to say?
Great player though. Like he will get you what you need, but in terms of am I game planning against him? Am I worried about him like I'm worried about a beast mode, or like I'm worried about old boys from Kansas City, like the rookies, or even the Saints, like Kamara?
Yeah.
Nah.
So a guy like Kamara, difficult to take down because of speed, or he's just elusive? Like what?
I mean, I haven't had the chance to play against him, but just watching him, dude's so smooth.
It looks, right?
It's so smooth. Like he kind of reminds me of how Arian Foster used to run. When Arian Foster was at his height, just light.
It
never looked like Arian Foster was like running too hard. But he was always getting away from people. Or
he's mad elusive,
people.
Effortless.
And it was just like, bro, you just broke off a 35-yard run and you got up like it was nothing. Like as if the pieces aren't in front of you trying to tackle you, you're just sidestepping. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to get tackled today. You know? Like, he definitely reminds me of like a young Arian Foster. Just came out of nowhere, and they both went to Tennessee. I believe.
Both Tennessee products.
Something to that maybe, but smooth, just all around smooth player.
Hardest guy to take down.
Shit, it's between Beast Mode and Gronk.
Gronk.
No, I was interested.
You saw Gronk twice a year.
Well, I've seen Gronk since college.
Okay.
And the first time I ever seen that motherfucker, he came out of nowhere. I didn't know who he was. I just knew earlier in the week, my coach was like, yo, you're going to have to guard him. Man, you're going to man up on him. Oh, it's cool.
Light. His name is Kowski.
We good. I see him warming up, and I went back to check the number, like, that's the dude right there? That's him? The same guy, I got to guard. That's him. All right. During the plays, I'm calling over the safety like, yo. Because the thing that people don't realize about Gronk is he's elusively fast. Like, he's not a slow clunker. If he builds some speed, he's able to run away from you.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
So he's got wide receiver speed if he has time.
Yes. Like, when he's able to build up that speed and get 5 or 10 or 15 yards head start running, it's hard to catch up to him. That dude's fast.
Okay.
And you know the guy that likes contact when you play basketball? I know you guys are basketball heads.
Yeah.
The guy that, like, he can easily just make the layup, but he wants to run into it and do it.
Yeah.
He's that guy. Like, he'll look for it because he knows he's bigger than everybody on the field trying to tackle him.
Yeah.
Like, he's only comparable to D tackles, to rush linebackers. There's no.
I thought it was like 6'6", 6'7"?
6'6", 6'7".
Jesus,
about 260, 265.
Okay.
And maybe 10% fat, 12% fat. Like, he's a brick.
A large motherfucker, man.
Is he? You think he's solely responsible for Tom Brady, the extension of Tom Brady's greatness?
I mean, shit. Whenever you got a safety net like that, like, he could go down as if he wants to play. I've heard some stuff that
I heard he might retire.
Now he's doing comedy.
Yeah, like he's trying to make that play into it. But whenever a quarterback has a safety net like that, to where even if I've seen Tom Brady not looking at him and just go, oh, he's there, bam, throw it. Don't matter who is on him. Like, he's prolonging Tom Brady's career between the get open routes that the Patriots run. Because honestly, I don't think.
What does that mean? Can you, for those of us who don't understand?
So a get open route for
because this sounds like a play I would call in pickup football. Yo, y'all get open there.
all you're doing is using the defensive player leverage against him. So if you're running your route and you know the defensive player is on your inside, you're gonna fake him inside then go out. If you know he's on the outside, you're going to fake him outside and go in. If you know he's on the outside, you could fake him inside and go back out to try to fuck him up. But for the most part, all you're doing is running these get-open routes where it's like literally run to the defender, make a move, and then do what you think is best. And Tom Brady's the best in the game at able to read hips, read shoulders to know which way his receiver's going.
Holy shit. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't know where his receiver's going on a given play?
It's an option route.
And all three of them?
Everything's an option route.
Granted, these aren't routes. These are only routes for the slot players.
Okay, so the two slot guys or one slot guy.
What's the
Welker was there for a while. Gronk can run in the slot.
I guard Hernandez doing that.
Really?
And it was literally just he's running to me, he's making a move, and he's getting open. And the ball, as soon as he turns around, the ball is right there because Tom Brady is a king at knowing exactly where his players are going to be.
Even though it's not decided between them which way they're going to go.
No.
Well, it's all reactive.
They're able to read it. It's reactive. They've spent hours doing this. Like it's what they are. It's who they are. And I don't know their playbook. I mean, Chris Hogan's here on the trip too. I can maybe talk to him about it, get some secrets from
Hell yeah.
from Bill Belichick.
Word.
It's something that it's so hard to game plan for because no matter what defense you're in, they're able to create the gray space within the defense. It's all it is.
Like here,
and this is normal.
That's what I'm saying. Like here, it's obviously it's not normal.
Have you known anybody completely shut down the Patriots?
Nah,
they're always in the game and then they lose, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
but you never see the Patriots get blown out.
They always get
little quirks like that make it go.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't know that. But is that normal that a quarterback won't know which way these option plays or the That's very normal
that's
in football.
A known play.
Okay. I mean, wow, the risk on that, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, shit, you've been doing it, 15 years has he been playing? 16 years? Like,
yeah.
And I honestly could see him doing the way he plays.
I think he could do another 5.
2, 3,
really?
Before time is undefeated.
I mean, one hit could change everything, but like if he doesn't get one like catastrophic hit, like bro, he was smoking that defense in the Super Bowl. Like smoking them.
Here's a question. With veteran quarterbacks, is there a respect thing when you lay them out or you take them down? Is there a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me, what do you mean? Like, so rookies, you fucking pound them, but a guy like Tom, you kind of set him down?
No, you want to get Tom.
You go harder.
So it's reverse.
It's twofold. For a rookie, you kind of want to welcome them to the league and say, hey, you may be throwing for 250 on us, but if we get to you, you're going to fill these pads. Like, if Cam Wakes gets to you, you're going to hurt. You're going into the ground.
Yeah.
And as for Tom Brady, that's somebody that, I mean, I don't need to talk about Tom Brady's resume.
Yeah.
But if you're able to get to him, that's like winning the prize in like the little claw game. Like, that's something that I mean, my first NFL memory that I was like, holy shit, was in the preseason my first year, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing against Tom Brady. They ended up starting their ones for some. It's the fourth preseason game. It means nothing.
Yeah.
I'm third string trying to make the team. He's making his checks. He goes, 49's the mic. I'm trying to blitz right now.
But for people who may not know,
middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker. Yeah. 49 is the middle linebacker. So what they're doing is he's directing the offensive line on who to block and what direction to block. So if I'm on the right side, he's telling them, hey, block right. So once he called me out, I'm trying to get to him, hate him. I was like, oh shit, like Tom Brady just said my number. What's up? Like, let's trade jerseys after the game.
Yo, does anybody ever get rejected from the jersey trade?
I felt that happened to somebody.
What happened? You haven't talked to me.
Story.
All right, go hit us with that.
So I'm not gonna say what year or anything. I don't want to put him on blast. But there was this dude that we were on a previous team together. Didn't really hang out that much. We weren't really like close or anything. And we were both on separate teams at this point. So at the end of the game, I didn't even know he was on the team. I was talking to some other guys from Oregon, just chopping it up with them, taking a picture, trading jerseys with them. So he comes up, yo, what's up, bro? What's up? How's everything? I'm like, oh, glad to see you're still in the league. Good job. Keep at it. Goodbye. Oh, man. Yo, have you traded that jersey with anybody yet? Like, nah, I'm good. He's like, you want to trade jerseys? You can't really say no to that. It's like, no, I don't want to give you this jersey. And I didn't want his jersey by any means. I'm not putting it in my house. I'm not hanging it up. Like, it's just gonna be on a hanger in the back of my closet. Or I'm gonna throw it up on eBay for like $60 maybe. Like, I didn't want it. But
how you gonna do David Johnson like that, bro? That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up, bro.
But no, the fucked up thing about it is I didn't want it and I had to pay for it. So when you give your jersey away, those jerseys are $250 up to $400 sometimes because now they have to go back and submit a order to get the jersey back within the next week, so you're able to play in a crisp jersey for that next game. So not only did I not want his jersey,
you had to pay $400.
I paid $300 to not want his jersey.
Yeah, who was it?
He's just a nice fucking guy, man.
Come on, dog.
He good.
Tell us what team. Tell us what team.
I'm not gonna throw it on.
You can't tell us what team, bro.
Somebody in the comment section is gonna fucking we got some sleuths in our comment section. They're gonna figure that shit out quick.
He was on a team in Florida.
He was on a team. Okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was he stealing some crab legs? Is that what?
Good dude though. Wish him the best, but I did not want.
Ain't nobody want your fucking jersey, bro.
What's fucked up though is so when I left when I got released from my team, I left the jersey in the locker. I packed all my shit up and left that jersey hanging up in the locker. Like, cool, I don't have to fuck with it.
The one you traded for.
The one I traded for. Oh, he needs his jersey again. A month later, I get a package from that team. Like, yo, here's your jersey. I'm like,
it's meant to be, bro. Y'all are soulmates.
Yo, you know what? It'll be our secret. Ship the jersey to me. I'll never tell anybody.
And it's game on, so that shit like scrunches up, comes to the top. Like, I'm telling you. This is Rocky if you need it.
Oh, man.
Okay. Andrew Luck. There's a clip that was posted. It might have been on House of Highlights. I'm not sure.
I think it was probably on the check down. NFL's joint.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I know what video you're talking about.
And it's a clip of him getting just demolished by different guys. And then after every single one of them hits him, he's like, great hit, boy. Great hit. Oh, that was a great hit, man. Like he went to a referee and he was like, you know what? I was just trying to trick you so I could catch you that play, but you made the right call. Is this guy the real deal in terms of that nice, or is it his way of manipulating the defenders to take it easy on him?
Nah, hands down, that's a nice motherfucker, man.
Really?
That's a nice motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
He actually was at the wedding of one of my good friends because one of my good friends married a lineman at Stanford. That was one of his linemen during his time there.
Right.
So when I was at the wedding, I walked up to him, hey, Andrew, we good friends. Getting married, it's cool. We end up talking for like an hour, drinking together, having a grand time. Like, I walked away like, yo, that's a nice dude. I kind of wanted to hate him. I never met him before. Like, yo, he's a good dude. And then literally every year after that, after we would play them against the Colts, he would walk up to me after the game. Yo, Spence, what's up? How's everything? How's your wife? Like, would name my wife. Like, how's Blair doing?
Wow.
I'm like, damn, like all this shit you got to deal with. You remember my wife's name out of all these years? Like that's a nice dude. I got nothing bad to say about him. Like they need to get him help out there because
need to get him healthy too.
Yeah, he's dying a slow death. Out there.
So what is happening with the Colts? What do you guys think?
I think like he was supposed to come back like week 4 or week 5 or something, and it just kept getting prolonged. And I don't know if it's a
well, they say it's the shoulder
thing, or the injury just isn't healing the way it's supposed. I don't know what it is.
I think that's why McDaniels pulled out.
I mean,
I think he got wind that
he did a young Belichick.
Yeah.
But I think he got wind that the shoulder wasn't right, and he's like, I'm not going to go coach this team I'm coaching this team for Luck.
Yeah,
and if we don't have Luck, or Luck isn't going to be able to come back.
I mean, shit. Like you wouldn't want to go and coach a team without a quarterback like that anyway. Especially it's your first. Well, not first, but. He coached like the Broncos at one point or something like that. Yeah. McDaniels and coached the. Was he behind Tebow when he was coaching? Or was that John Fox?
No, it was Fox.
Yeah, I think that was John Fox. But anyway, I think that I don't know, man. Like the Andrew Luck thing kind of bothers me a little bit because he took some fucking hits already in his career, and his career's pretty young.
Yeah.
So if he hasn't healed up already by now, and
it might be a rap ski.
I wouldn't say it's a rap, but it's.
I mean, you just don't hear anything about it. That's what blows me out. Like, in the age of social media where everybody's digging for a story, everybody has something or 2 cents to say. When you just don't hear anything from a guy for a year, that's.
Nobody.
That's not good, right?
It's tricky.
It's like Markelle Fultz. They won't say what the hell is wrong with his shoulder. It's another one, right?
That shit is fucking nuts to me, dog.
He's turning into an urban legend.
Yeah.
Bro, I got a buddy who he's on the coaching staff there. He don't know what's going on. Think about that. Now, this is not like, he's not the second in command or there, but he's on the fucking, he's working with the players. He's part of the team. That's how buttoned up that shit is. And we ask him every time, like, yo, just tell us what the fuck has happened. Tell us what the fuck. It's like, bro, they keep it tight. They release specific footage. Every once in a while, he gets a good shot up, and then they'll throw it on social media.
I don't even like to joke about it on Twitter.
Yeah, me neither. I feel so bad for him. Like, first off, dude is 19 years old.
Kid.
You know what I mean? He's getting judged by like social media footage, and like it's like watching like fucking Space Jam when the Monster stole somebody's power and the dude doesn't even know how to fucking shoot anymore. It's like, what happened?
Him like attempting to shoot.
Yeah.
Just like opposite hand. I'm like, what?
And it was like the jerky thing going on. Like, I was like, what is that? And it's like, that was his bread and butter in college.
That little mid-range.
They were calling him like Young Harden, like the way he played, like just he was just smooth. And if there was anything we knew of him coming into the league, he was like, he'll be able to score.
Right.
He'll be able to shoot.
Yeah.
And like, and it's not like he was a top 10 pick, lottery pick. He was the number 1 overall pick in a draft that was pretty deep.
Diesel.
You know what I mean?
Amazing draft.
And at one point, I was thinking about the Lakers take. I'm a Laker head.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about the Lakers should take him over
Lonzo.
A lot of people said that.
I didn't see it in Lonzo. Like I see it now, like little spurts of what could be. But coming out, I was like, why don't we just take Fultz? Like he looks like a more polished player.
Yeah.
But
that's what a lot of people
thought.
Fuck. I thought Lonzo was, flashing, not a lot of substance, but Lonzo's gonna be the truth. You're a Laker fan. Like Lonzo is
straight.
Chris Moreau, who runs Loudspeakers Network, which is what this is on right here, he had a super hot take. I wanted to bring him on, but a couple weeks ago. But so he said, he goes, this is what I don't understand. He goes, Danny Ainge has a meeting with Markelle Fultz, works him out. The next day, he's on the phone with Philly.
He's like, I got a deal for you, buddy.
He saw something. He saw something in the workout, right? He saw something he liked in the workout. Calls up Philly. Philly says, yeah, I'm willing to trade it. Then they ended up they got like 3rd pick or the 4th pick.
Yeah, the 4th pick.
They get Tatum.
Yeah,
so here's where shit gets tricky.
Killer deal.
Jerry Colangelo Sr., USA Basketball, puts Jerry Colangelo Jr., his son, in charge of the 76ers.
Oh, shit. Tinfoil hat?
Wait for it.
Tinfoil hat?
Get for it. Now, who coaches for USA Basketball?
Well, it was Coach K.
Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski. Now, who also played at Duke.
Jason Tatum.
Now, why the fuck is Coach K not calling at least senior and saying Tatum is the real fucking deal?
Yeah. But here's the thing, though.
You're talking all the time. Something is off here. Is it not off? Something is off.
I feel you. I would get with that. But, like, there was Summer League. And I saw Summer League. And Fultz looked the part in Summer League.
He did.
I was like, dude's going to be nice. Dude's going to get buckets. He's quick.
But then he sprained his ankle.
And then he got hurt. And then, like, it's been fucking... It's the most perplexing basketball story I could remember that wasn't, like, scandalous. Just, like, how somebody just... I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was the surgery or the... I don't know. It's weird. I hope he gets better.
I mean, in the age of social media where nobody's safe on social media. Yeah. We're getting to a point where, like, the consensus is, like, is he okay?
Yeah.
You want to care for him. You want to say, I just want to know something and let me know that you're good.
Yeah, like, the general consensus, it went from, oh, man, look at this is funny, or, like, even us, like, we rag on Philly all the time. Like, if you get drafted by Philly, you're either going to miss your first season, or get hurt, or, like, you're cursed, like, whatever. And now we're just like, wow, you almost feel bad. You're like, dog, like, I hope he's all right. Like,
bro, you're rooting for him. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird to root for Philly, man. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
I had something I wanted to ask. This week, Jonathan Martin, who was on the Dolphins or whatever, he got in trouble. Yes. He put up a threat. Not really a threat or whatever, but like he took a picture of a bunch of guns about bullying, relating to the whole Parkland high school shooting, and that's local in Florida as well. I'm assuming y'all played together or y'all was...
So I've known and played against Jonathan Martin since we were 16, 17 years old. So I went to Beverly Hills High School. Okay. He went to Harvard Westlake High School, which is like low-key what people think Beverly Hills High School is. Yeah. That's Harvard Westlake.
Gotcha.
Beverly Hills High School is all Persian. Yeah. It was a weird awakening for me. So we have a mutual friend that we didn't say. Shout out to Dove Mammon, my boy. Anybody who saw me on my trip to Israel, Dove was the guy who took me to Israel. I've known him since college, my first friend in college. I went to UCSB. Yep.
Nice.
He went to Beverly Hills High. His older brother, your older brother, is friends with Dove. But you also knew Dove and Dove's family.
Yeah, we used to be like ball boys together when I was a kid at Beverly.
Wow.
Yeah, just random.
Everybody knows this
world,
kid.
Bro.
It's unbelievable. If like there was a World Wide West of entertainment, it would be Dove. I got to have him on the podcast. Next time he's in time. He's a fucking amazing guy.
Bring him in. Yeah.
But I remember I went to Beverly Hills High School prom with Dove's sister.
Really?
And I was thinking, 90210. I'm like, it's going to be a bunch of white bitches with blonde hair. And I go and like every kid looks like some Jersey Shore slick back fucking. I'm like, what's going on? Am I in Iran? What the fuck is happening?
And you got to think, this is the time where like the Kim Kardashian era didn't
even exist yet. Yeah. So,
I mean, I ain't hating, but the Persian girls back then just weren't as manicured as they are.
What he's trying to say is they still had neck hair. They still had sideburns that came down to the cheeks.
The low back hair.
Exactly. Hair in the nipples. There's a lot of hair. Okay?
Yeah. That's just what it was. But you always knew, like,
Persian rug, of course.
21, 22, y'all start realizing what you guys can be. Bomb.
A lot of potential.
Yeah. Great potential, but 15, a lot of upside. 16, like, there was a thing amongst like the black athletes at Beverly. Was like, don't really mess with the Persian girls. They're not ripe yet. we'll just, we'll take them to the side. You don't really do it.
You gotta let them finish cooking, man.
You gotta put them back in the oven a little bit. This one ain't done yet.
It's still soft in the middle. That's still soft.
That's just what it was. That's just what it was. But it's like, to go back to Jonathan Martin. So he played at Harvard Westlake. He's a year underneath me, I believe, and I've known him a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm best friends with him or hung out with him multiple times, but I do have some familiarity with him.
Okay.
Saw him I think about 2 or 3 months ago at a friend's birthday party, and he seemed cool because I've always known him the way he was. Like he has a hyper focus about things. He's intelligent, one of the smartest people I've ever met, and for somebody that could walk away from such a situation that he had with the Dolphins, and that took balls. Because in the culture of football, if you're not comfortable with yourself and who you are, when you walk into these locker rooms, you'll get exposed. Like, because you're going to get talked about. Everybody gets talked about. Everybody gets pushed over. If whether you're first year or the first time with the team, they're going to kind of try you a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
That's the nature of the locker room. I'm sure you guys know.
It's competitive.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not comfortable with who you are and you're allowing yourself to be your worth to be dictated by outside forces, the locker room can be a very toxic place.
Yeah.
So when I saw that post, I was seeing Black Panther for like the third time. And mind you, I had just smoked. And I saw that post and I was like, I wish I didn't see this right now because I'm starting to freak out. Like,
now you're going to a movie theater. Holy shit!
So I'm texting friends that know him still. I'm texting just connects that we've had. I'm texting NFL players that we both played with. Like, yo, if you're in town, go check on him. I know where he lives, but we're not friends like that for me to just pull up on you. And I'm not pulling up on you.
When you got a machine, get out of here, bro.
I'm just not doing it. But like, I hit up a couple people like, yo, if you got any friends that are closer to him right now, y'all should try to call him or just get in touch with him. And I mean, the whole time I was in the movie, I still saw the Black Panther.
It's like, I'm about to miss my movie for this shit.
But I was just thinking, like, bro,
priorities, goddammit.
That was very Wakandan of you. I just want to point that out. It's very Wakandan to think about you first.
Share this vibranium.
Black man over here struggling. You're like, nah, we got to look after us.
I was just like, I hope he didn't do anything stupid to himself. I hope he didn't do anything to any of the guys. So the first 2 guys that he tagged in the photo, those are 2 guys that went to high school with him. And from what I remember, like, they were cool. I don't think that was meant to be a threat towards them or even the school that at Harvard Westlake, I should say. But Parkland, everything happening right now.
Yeah.
It just looked bad. They shut down Harvard Westlake for the day because they didn't know what was about to happen. And it's bad timing.
How tall is this guy?
6'5",
6'5",
6'5". He got down about 270.
Okay, so 6'5", 270, 260.
I'm outside looking in. It's like,
how are you getting bullied?
It's like, I'm like, obviously I've never been in the NFL, never played pro football.
Before the NFL, we're talking about high school.
Yeah, I'm like,
you're a lime 6 whatever. Like, I'm sorry,
I don't think it's impossible for people like that to get bullied, but I do think after a while, and that might be sounding like, what's the word? Insensitive, whatever. But it's like, it's football. And it's not just football, it's the culture of football. At the end of the day, if you're giving me issues, you're going to have to see me, whether it's in the locker room, whether it's on the field, whether I catch you like, in the middle of the field, whatever. Like, I'm going to hurt you. Like, if you're giving me issues, like, Did that ever like happen with him, or like how does that happen where he gets to the point where he has to feel like he puts a post up like that, and you can tell he's still dealing with the effects of bullying after all these years, after the incognito stuff, after everything going on.
It's one of those things, in my opinion, and again, I don't want to speak to his experience, but on the outside looking in as well, I mean, he's a regular person. He is his job isn't who he is. So he claims like all of his life he's been bullied and people have been coming at him and he's never known to stand up for himself. That's shit that people deal with every single day. But the fact that he was in the NFL and he's put on the jersey, put on pads, and he's running into people same size as him, people just naturally think, oh, you're able to handle everything. Anything that comes your way, you're good because you're the football player. And that's just the pedestal that people put on us. Like people are going through real life shit in the NFL right now. And this is just one of those cases where bullying has affected them.
Well, here's what I'll say about this. Anybody can be bullied, but I think that he has a mental state that welcomes it more than others. For example, a 5'4" 100-pound kid that's goofy looking, big teeth or some shit like that, he gets bullied and there's not much he can do about it. This guy is in the top 0.01% of physical humans in the world. Yeah. He has an extreme advantage over most of the people in the world, right? In terms of being able to defend himself. 99%. Right. And he's trained by the greatest trainers in the world. It's like everything is ready for him to not be bullied. Yeah. Matter of fact, every day he goes to work and people are like, don't let you push you around. It's like his job is literally to not get pushed around, right? Like he's great at getting not pushed around. He's a lineman, right? Yeah. It's hard. So when we make this about bullying, which is something you've gone through, Kaz gone through, I've gone through, we've all gone through, and we're okay, we have a different constitution. So I'm worried about making this about bullying when it's really about something mentally that he's got going on.
Yeah, of course.
Right? You know what I mean? Because the reality is every human goes through some form of bullying. Some people end up killing themselves because of it. I think those people have something else specific going on that makes them more susceptible to the danger of this bullying thing. I think bullying is actually healthy. I mean, it taught me how to defend myself, it taught me how to be more tough, mentally resilient, deal with criticism, even just from being a public personality, getting shit on all the time, built up a tough skin, and now I'm able to handle it. Some people can't. Yeah. And we should isolate what that thing is in them that can't, instead of attacking bullying, which will never go away.
Yeah, for me, growing up, I never wanted to appear weak to anybody.
Right.
So if there was a weakness that, growing up, we all probably grew up in the same setting where you're going to talk shit, you're going to get shit talked about you.
Boom.
I had glasses growing up. My nose damn near didn't work. I found out I was only using 10% of my nose capacity. Wow. People would call me non-breather. Remember the kid from Hey Arnold?
Yeah, that was written behind Helga.
That's where that fucking came from. And to this day, fuck him. That's how it was. That's how it was for me. But for every time I got talked about, I threw it right back.
Right.
And for me, going home at night, I say, you know what? They talked about this. They talked about that. I'm going to make sure they can't talk about that at any point, whether it's my shoes, my jeans, my shirt, whatever, a haircut or whatever.
Sure.
I'm going to patch it up, and you're going to have to find something else to do.
Right.
But some of these kids just didn't grow up that way. There was a post that he had that they dug up talking about his experience with the Dolphins, and he said he grew up in pussy schools. He said from the jump. I mean, and he comes from an affluent black family. He was in the best schools from K through fucking went to Stanford of all.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Maybe it did foster some sort of comfort that once real life came and hit him, he didn't know how to react, to handle it.
Yeah,
and there's something to that.
It's the Raptors in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean that. Nobody takes them seriously when they go play the Raptors.
They'll be top 1 or 2 seed. Everything's great.
I never believe that they're going.
Exactly, because
they always talk a big game.
Because they don't. No one takes them seriously during the. And I wish that more teams would, because then it would bring out the beast in all these players.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, DeMar will put up 50 points during the regular season, or 40 points, and put at these big games, and then he'll get locked down in the playoffs, and it's got to be crippling for him even.
Yeah.
Whereas Steph is getting your best effort.
Yeah.
Like when you go into the league, you're getting the best bullying. Ain't no better bullying than an NFL locker room, yo. Because it's the bullies united. It's the Avengers.
I'll tell you about my first play ever in the regular season. Is we're playing the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Hot as fuck down in Washington.
Yeah.
First play ever. I'm on punt. I have to block somebody, run down the field. Ball snap. I didn't get past the line of scrimmage. Like, the dude held me up so bad that I actually went backwards for about 10 seconds. So I come off the field and I'm like, this ain't the preseason. These dudes got jobs.
Real shit. Yeah.
Like, remember that? What's that line from Any Given Sunday? It's either gonna be me or you, and it ain't gonna be me. That's what he was thinking guarding me, because he definitely got me on that play. Like,
damn,
you're dealing with men in the NFL that have to support their family.
Yeah.
And it's either going to be you or them.
Yeah.
So I knew from a young age, from the first play I've ever played in the NFL, you cannot play this game by the rules. You got to be a little bit dirty to play this game. I tell that to every rookie that I meet that's on my team. I'm like, listen, all that shit's nice. All the shit you did in the NCAA is great. You probably got all the accolades. But there's a man on that other team that's about to come and try to take your job or make you look bad to make him look better. And you can't.
Can't let that happen.
Can't back down.
Yeah.
It's some grown ass.
Kill or be killed, man.
And I'm sure there's people who listen to this that have been, bullied and stuff like that. My brother had a lot of problems bullying. He's another guy who was a big kid. He was like 6'6", you know what I mean? And it still affected him. He'd have anxiety and that kind of stuff like that. And but he chose to learn how to like box. Now, he's had some mental health issues and he was just beating people up for no reason. So I don't recommend that. But he did take it into his own hands, right? He was like, he goes, I don't feel comfortable defending myself. I'm going to learn how to fucking defend myself. Yeah. And that might be like step one with bullying. Like, instead of telling people to stop bullying, learn how to protect yourself. You know what I mean?
There's a certain confidence that comes with knowing that if shit goes down, I could fight.
Dude, you know it's great. Or
I've been punched in the face before. I think half of what happens to a lot of people who go through these things, in my estimation, and people who've seen it, like, they're more afraid of getting hit or more afraid of confrontation than they are of the actual confrontation.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's like, once you get punched in the mouth, you're not afraid of getting punched in the mouth anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, some people just, like you said, like, he said he grew up in the pussy school.
Yep.
He probably never was really punched in the mouth. He probably, after every game, they shook hands and kissed babies and went to get ice cream together and shit. Like,
he's probably one of 3 black kids at this high school. It's
literally
5'8" Jewish kids, and Harvard Westlake. Yep. Right?
Dave Chappelle said it best in his stand-up, man. Like, we're turning into a country full of pussies, man.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, sometimes you just gotta fight it out.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you got, like, there has to be. I forgot who said this shit about Trump, and that's how Trump got into office. It was like, it said something along the lines of, we stopped bullying people. And then when a real bully came,
they
nobody knew what to fucking do.
It's true.
And he took that shit straight to the fucking White House.
Hey, man, it's true. I mean? That's classic bully techniques.
Because it's like, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, they froze.
Yeah, so it's like, get punched in the face a few times, man. That's all I'm saying.
Find somebody to punch you in the face.
Yeah,
tonight.
like, it builds character. You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
does.
Your best lessons will never come from comfort, man. You got to get punched in the face. Yeah. You got to get hit.
Adversity introduces a man to himself.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these kids don't get hit anymore, so
let's beat the kids.
Beat your kids, Dad.
Beat your kids. Yeah.
You a dad?
Yeah.
Beat your kids.
Oh, congrats, man.
Oh, shit. Congratulations. Don't beat her yet.
I got a basketball game I got to run to that is starting a minute ago.
Oh, shit.
But I was so into the convo, I didn't want to leave, but I'm going to leave you guys to it, man.
Yo, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. We got to have you back when you're back in town.
Absolutely.
All right,
yeah, man. Yeah, man. So we're probably going to wrap this up pretty soon, but we just want to talk a little bit about I did some Googling. You know what I mean? You got a show.
Yeah, I got a show
coming out on the CW.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So
you got Taye Diggs tied to it, right?
Yeah, Taye Diggs just signed on. We got some other people. I don't know if we've released some of the other cast already. I know for a fact we haven't found the Spencer that's going to potentially play me.
Play you.
But yeah, it's about myself during my high school years.
Okay.
Growing up in South Central, but going to Beverly Hills High School and kind of dealing with the dichotomy of that.
Gotcha.
Of figuring out, on one side, I'm avoiding gangs and what all goes into that South Central life.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I'm dealing with affluence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with parents that are gone for 3 months at a time, leaving their 15, 16-year-old kids in mansions to throw parties. I had a friend who was the Prince of Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Panji. When like Toontown redid part of Toontown, he bought the part that they took out and put it in his backyard. So like growing up, I remember being in the treehouse, walking around at Disneyland, and then fast forward to when I'm 16, 17 years old, I'm in that same treehouse, like, this shit look kind of familiar.
At his house.
Yeah, just at his house. Like, dealing with stuff like that, where you got kids that have $100,000 Benzes pulling up, and I'm pulling up in a 92 Honda Accord. And I still love that car to this day, even though it overheat every single time I drove it. But yeah, just dealing with the balancing of both those two worlds while still trying to play football.
Now it seems like people who come from that world, you know what I mean, especially if when you go home, you know what I mean, like you're back in the streets, you're back in the back in the different neighborhood. Did the people back home give you shit about being around these rich folks, and then the rich folks give you shit about being around, these dudes from the hood?
Nah, so for the most part, like the rich folk, they kind of wanted to be the poor folk for some reason.
What? That always why is that shit?
It was weird because there's this like this allure to being broke and black in Los Angeles for some reason that they like. It's almost like they wanted to seek out this unknown territory.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, yeah, I got hella shit from my friends in South Central going to Beverly Hills because during this time, all my friends were going to Inglewood High, to Culver City High, to Amino High School, again based in Inglewood, and I was the only kid in my school that I was like, I gotta go to Beverly. I had no other chance, no other choice. I mean, it was Beverly or Beverly. Like, it was, again, like, no fucking choice. So yeah, I got hella. I was called Rich Boy. I was called Oreo. Every name.
Speak so well.
Yeah,
so well spoken.
Speak so well for somebody like you. Or like, can I touch your hair?
Oh shit.
Do you know how to crip walk? Like,
do you?
Things like that. I used to, but that shit changes. That shit.
Yo, first off,
a living organism.
Crip walks were very simple when I grew up. Like I see Casanova and OT Genesis doing like their crip walk challenge on Instagram.
Yeah,
they're doing all these like B2K, a whole other shit. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to do all that, man. But that is fucking impressive and entertaining.
Crip walk. I remember crip walking like hit the mainstream when I was in about 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
And that's when I was in on it. I was like, I'm not a crip, but I'm going to shuffle to the left, shuffle to the right.
Lil Bow Wow was crip walking in the video.
Drop down and like wipe my shoelaces, then pop back up. But then once I saw like some of the techniques these other dudes are doing, I said, I'm gonna get out of this one. I'm gonna just go talk to the girls while y'all dancing in the circle.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a special time. I remember that time.
So how has the transition from football to entertainment and show business been like? Like what lessons have you taken from the football field into this world that has prepared you for this?
But I like structure. I like order. I like knowing where I have to be. I like knowing what I have to do. Every minute of the day, if I can have my day scheduled, segmented out, what I have to do, that's how I live my life, because that's how football has taught me. For the past however many years, I've been in football. That's been my life. So dealing with this Hollywood play it's so interesting because you have to deal with patience more than anything. Mm-hmm. Where football taught me you have to react quick. You have to think on your feet. I could send an email to people in Hollywood and I won't hear back from a week and a half, 2 weeks. And for me, the lifespan of an email is like literally 48 hours. Like once you do that, it's dead. Now you go on to the next one. But, this project took upwards of 2 years to get it from a conversation that I had on a couch with my friend's friend at the time to being ordered to pilot. And now we're shooting March 20th, I believe, for the pilot. 2 years.
Wow.
And it's for me, I'm a guy that if I think about something, 5 minutes later, I'm online trying to figure out how I can do it, trying to figure out how I can write it, how I can segment it out and get it done within the next couple of days. But yeah, I've had to learn patience more than anything.
Yeah.
Doing this transition.
There's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
A lot of hurry up and wait, man.
It's
like,
so interesting.
When it's on their time, it's like now.
Yeah.
When it's on yours, it's like, we'll hear from you in a week or two.
and just dealing with like sort of the passive aggressiveness a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I always believe that whenever you're having a conversation with somebody you don't really know, there's an underlying conversation that's being had that both you guys are picking up on, but neither of you are bold enough to just speak out and say what needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had a lot of those cases where you're just kind of like, muddling around the actual topic of what you really want to talk about. And I want to talk about it, but I don't know how I'm going to be received if I do talk about it in a certain way. Like, again, I'm still transitioning out of the league. So right now I'm not in a position to call the shots.
Gotcha.
So you gotta play the game.
Yeah.
You definitely got to play the game.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I can imagine it being hard. How did Taye Diggs get involved?
Honestly, so we put the casting bios out about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. And he was interested.
Okay.
I heard from our lead writer that he called in and we had some back and forth talks with them, and he said this is something that he wanted to do. And I know Taye Diggs from the brown sugar, the how Stella got her groove back. That's how I know Taye Diggs. So he'll always be the guy with the 3 lineup with the heavy leather jackets on, the heavy brown leather jackets on. So to be able to
slinging most death mixtapes in the back and shit.
To be able to potentially work with them. I'm supposed to meet him next week to take him around, South Central and BH and stuff.
Nice. It's
gonna be weird. Like I want to ask him questions about shit that came out 20 years ago, and I know that's not his phase right now. But it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to try to find that balance of trying not to fanboy a little bit.
I mean, it's
The Wood is by far one of my top 10 favorite movies.
I was about to say, a lot of us grew up on The Wood,
right.
so like
that was my neighborhood. Like that's like La Tijera,
exactly.
The school they went to, La Tijera, that was my rival school. I went to Frank D. Perrin Elementary School, and La Tijera was our rival. Like it was. I mean, we weren't good at basketball or anything, but whenever we had basketball games, shit was packed. Like we were. That was our rival. So to see them there, I was kind of hating on them a little bit. Like, man, I should have chose Perrin, but. I mean, he's in one of my favorite movies. I got nothing bad to say about it.
Hey, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing story. There's a lot of NFL players that have been like jumping into entertainment lately, like guys like Nnamdi Asomugha and Sharp Mendenhall and a bunch of other guys from like Ballers and stuff like that. Have you been in contact with any of them, or have they been like giving you any advice on this type of thing, or just kind of going it alone right now? I'm
going at it alone right now. I haven't reached out to him, but I do know that platform is there to be able to shoot a text or call him. Coming out of the NFL so I talked a little bit about that injury I had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So once I had that injury, I had already been proactive and doing stuff off the field in the off season. Getting job internships, job shadowing experiences. But once I took that hit, it really made me rethink of football. The last 2 years, I necessarily wasn't playing football for the love of the game. I was playing it for a business decision.
Gotcha.
So I was using football for the last 2 years to get into those meetings, to send those emails. So I can send a cold email and be like, Spencer Paysinger, Miami Dolphins, wants to talk to you.
Gotcha.
Or Spencer Paysinger, New York Jets, or the Carolina Panthers. And because that cold email for an NFL player is strong. It's something that can get you into the door of millionaires and billionaires just because they want to see how you work. They want to see who you are. They want to see if what's underneath that helmet. So for the past 2 years, I've really been focusing on what am I going to do after ball, and that's how I stumbled upon writing screenplays, writing short stories, and I have like a little bank of shit that I've done so far, and hopefully the show will bring out some of these other projects. But yeah, when it comes to reaching out to some of the other guys, I don't know. I've always been sort of a loner.
Yeah.
But I know that time will come where I will want that tutelage from
absolutely.
Some of those guys.
And somebody's gonna probably follow your footsteps too. Like, a lot of people are trying to figure out that life after the league, and judging by this, so it's, you got a CW pilot and all that stuff. They're gonna want to come to you, and like you want to pass on that knowledge as well afterwards. Last question I want to ask before we get out of here. If there's one thing you'd miss about the league, if there is any, what would it be? And you can't say the bitches because you're married.
Oh man, one thing. Honestly, as much as I talked about the locker room being toxic, that is a place that is unlike any other place in the world, where some of the funniest people you'll ever meet, or I'll ever meet, I should say, we're in that locker room. I still laugh at jokes that happened 5-6 years ago. I still laugh at, like, my boy Prince Amukamara, first-round draft pick for the Giants back in 2011. Like, him getting thrown into a whirlpool. Like, they froze his pads. They dipped his pads in water and put him in the freezer overnight. And then for fall camp, he had to wear literally frozen pads on the field the next day. Like, little shit like that is always intricate, always funny to me, because it's just great memories. Memories. Like, I'll forget plays and, good plays, bad plays, what have you, but that locker room etiquette.
I feel like that's what a lot of retired athletes say. Like, it's like, the glory's fine, being on the field's fine, but it's like that camaraderie between, your boys and, the locker room, etiquette is definitely something that, you always stick with you for the rest of your career.
Because at the end of the day, I always liken the locker room with how, and this may sound weird, or as Angela likes to say, a hot take, but when this whole Trump shit was happening last year, we had people in our locker room that were all different sides of the spectrum in terms of supporting him wholeheartedly to completely bashing him. And it was literally both sides of the pendulum just swinging back and forth. But when you walk out those doors and you walk onto the practice field, that dude that was that big Trump supporter, he's right next to you, and he's got to do his job, and you got to do your job, and y'all got to reach the common goal. And when you're able to put aside any differences that you had, like, I've had friends on teams that have hooked up with, like, other friends' wives, other friends' girlfriends and stuff, and they hate each other, but on that Sunday, it's like, yo, if you don't do your job and I don't do my job, we're both getting cut. That's how real it is.
That's the nature of the business, right? Oh man, listen. Somebody missing my wife. And I gotta listen. I've seen a lot of movies where they just kind of, I'm just let this block slide real quick. Like, just let them get that one hit off. Like, there's never been an instance with that. Like, I forgot what movie I saw that one. Remember the Titans? Yes, with Sunshine. Goddamn it. And there's never been an instance where you were just like, you know what?
Fuck this guy real quick. No, I never really had no situation like that. Like, I definitely kept my personal life away from the locker room, just because, again, I didn't like feeling vulnerable to anybody. I didn't like people seeing I was weak in a certain aspect of my life. So, nobody was coming for me in that realm. Gotcha. And I got a good one. She not going for none of you.
And that's what it's all about. Goddamn it! So even if you're in the NFL, NBA, whatever. Just get one, lock it down, and live washed like the rest of us.
Absolutely. Wash life, man. I love it.
Spencer, thank you for coming through, man. Welcome to Flagrant 2. If you want to plug anything, let the people know. Talk to them.
Man. You can follow them on this. Yeah, you can follow me. All my social media handles is PYSNGR. It's Paysinger with all the vowels taken out. I got a website on my Instagram called Cut and Paste. That's where I practice writing. I write up short scenes, short stories in the form of screenwriting. So if you guys want to take a look at that, criticize it, share it, do whatever you want to do with it. As long as you guys are looking at it and digesting it, I appreciate it. So, and watch out, look out for the show.
Yes, sir.
Don't know when it's coming out, but hopefully, fall, early next year. But look out for it.
You can't to Flagrant 2. The Asshole Army is going to support that show as soon as it comes out. So,
appreciate it.
Shout out to you, and thanks everybody for tuning in. Andrew, for Akaash in LA, wherever he's at, for Alex, it's your boy Kaz. See you guys next week. Keep it tight.